An early show again on a Thursday, and my camera's out of focus again. Doggone it! Maybe I got to get a new one. I don't know what the deal is with this thing. At any rate, welcome once again to a early CAF update. I don't even know what number we're on. I think we're on 87. So 87 is a good number for me. We've got an early show tonight because I've got Micah in the green room. We're going to just do a recap of the Comic Connect auction, and he's going to tease a few items, I think, from the upcoming auction that I guess would be about 4 months from now. I'm going to mess around with these lights while I'm talking with Micah and see if I can't figure out why these things out of focus tonight. But anyways, welcome one and all. Yeah, Mikhail, 5:30 for you. It's probably a good thing you probably work from home, right? That you're able to tune in on an early show like this one. But it's starting to become the norm. I think I've even next week we've got on Thursday I've got a show with Dino and Nick, and so that's going to be a standard start time because that's not going to be a CAF update that night. But so next week will be normal somewhat, even though it's an off night. But anyway, I'm not going to keep Micah waiting in the green room here any longer. So surprise, look at this. Micah has a haircut.
Haircut coming to you from my apartment. It's very exciting.
Indeed.
Hello, everybody.
You've lost at least a pound of hair.
I know, and a bunch of years off my appearance.
That's right. It's okay. I got a haircut too. If you couldn't tell. But so hey, no, not as dramatic. But I'm maybe next time I'll go to that length. But so I'm glad we were doing this. We talked about it early. I was like, I can't do it. I can't squeeze it in. But we're squeezing it in anyway because it seems like I think by and large everybody would like to do previews and recaps, and I think it makes a lot of sense, especially given the way the hobby is today, to kind of talk about most auctions that have some decent sales on them at the end of them as well. So doing this is fun. And I'm glad to have you on here to talk about them. You gave me some stats before the show started. So I got a little slide just to show off the overall sales for the original art portion of the event auction. So you were just under $800,000 in total sales of original art at $789,679 in total sales from 307 lots closed. So an average price of just over $2,500. It's not too shabby. It's hard with auction houses to really know where they're at unless you're able to get those kind of metrics out. And clearly, most
I wouldn't have guessed that the average price was that high if I didn't actually do the math.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a good sign, right? I mean, was this one of where does this rank, this auction, as far as the original art goes for you guys? Is it in one of the top five?
That's an excellent question, and I only know going back a couple years, but it's definitely, I think, the best one that I've been a part of. We had one that had two bigger pieces, but I don't know if the overall was as strong.
Mm-hmm.
But it was nice, and I hope that the next one should be better. We'll talk about that later.
That's true. And that was the auction it had a Spidey cover, I think.
Yeah, the Spidey cover and the Miller Daredevil cover in it. No, that wasn't the same auction. It was the one with the Ditko. Was that the same? We had the one with the Ditko Spider-Man page, and I don't remember what was in what auction. But we had the Romita page from Spider-Man 39. We had the Ditko page from Spider-Man 16. But then we had the one with the Spider-Man cover. It all kind of blurred. And then the Miller cover. I don't remember what was in which ones were in the same auction, but I know one auction had two of those pieces in it. It might have been the two Spider-Man pages, the Ditko and the Romita Spider-Man pages. I think were in the same auction.
All right. Well, see, yeah, Marcus is saying we got to do some homework. So
apparently,
but it is good to know these things. I mean, we've done these with other auction houses, and so I've got like a running kind of figure to compare it against on a couple of them. So so from now on, I'm always going to ask you for this. So if you are able to go back,
it was easier to put together than I thought it would be. Also, so it's not a problem.
Okay, cool. Well, then when we do it again, I might say go back and get the two prior to this one too, and then we'll have a whole year's worth of data.
Well, now you're asking for a lot.
Oh, I'm not your boss. That's true. Maybe I'd have to Vincent. I'll beg Vincent to do it.
Oh, well, then we'll get done.
All right. Well, I'm expecting Vincent to lean in from off camera any second now to say
he is in Las Vegas this weekend.
Oh, geez. Well, I hope
he's out this morning, this afternoon, something like that. it's a work thing. It's not. Sadly, he went to Vegas not for fun.
Well, you can't win them all. So let's see. Christopher Daly said he got a few deals on the last auction, and I'm not even reading this. I'll just pull it up. It would be really helpful if the CC website was clear about the closing process. Too many auctions going to remember how each one closes.
I actually had a conversation. I had a conversation with somebody about that this week, about making it clearer on the website how the process is with the ending of auctions.
You mean as far as the
extra time? Yeah.
Okay.
We're also weighing whether we want to have it so that pieces don't overlap. So where you don't have pieces ending, you know what I mean?
Right. If it bumps the shift. Right. If it bumps it up an increment that is within seconds of another important auction ending, then that could make it problematic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's just 3 minutes would be too long to do that and have as many pieces as we have every night. So we're like weighing whether lowering the 3 minutes to maybe 1 minute and then just running the items in order. It's just ongoing discussions. Feedback would be great. If anybody wants to send me an email, happy to listen.
And they can get what is your email, Micah?
My email is micahs@comicconnect.com. So Micah, my name, and then the letter S, my first initial of my last name, at comicconnect.com.
All right. So there you go, everybody. You can send Micah some feedback if you'd like. And it's always appreciated, right? You never know. You can only look at the metrics and see how many times things got close to overlapping and what happened, at those moments. But hearing it from
but I mean, I know from bidding before I started working there that it can be confusing watching multiple things. And it's not impossible. It's doable. It's easier when you're watching things from a watch list than from the actual auction page. But then you can miss things. So, I don't want people to miss things, and I want people to not have trouble bidding on the things they want to win. So we've been having talks.
All right. Well, send the feedback in, everybody. They will appreciate it. So why don't we look at some of the auction results from this auction here? Let me pull up the website. And as I always do, I've got highest to lowest here, everybody. So we're just going to go from there. And then if anybody wants us to talk about any lot in particular, we can certainly do that. But also, I guess, Micah, if you've got any pieces that you want to highlight before we're done that you thought were interesting as far as the end results, I'm happy to kind of jump around a little bit. So what do we got here? The first up was that Buckler Avengers cover. This was the highest selling lot at just under $110,000. Lots of activity on this one, 51 bids.
Yeah. I mean, it's not super surprising. It's a good cover. It's, it's that right in that butter zone time period where people are really into right now. And it's got Vision and Scarlet Witch on it, which is, topical.
Exactly. You can't go wrong with that. And I know you had a lot of Buckler art.
We did
in this one. And hey, Matt Kennedy says, love the auction.
Thank you.
That is a good sign. But yeah, no, that was, that's pretty much about where I was thinking it would go. And
it's right around there. Maybe a little higher than I thought, but not enough to matter really, like within the margin. But a nice result for sure. And a nice cover.
As long as the consigners walk away happy, that's a good thing, right?
Absolutely. Consigners were pretty much across the board thrilled with the way this auction ended.
Good.
Another nice cover. We're doing, what a nice cover should.
Yeah, no, I remember when we talked about this one. I love this one. Anyone who's a Thing fan would really enjoy having this cover in their collection. And you know what? I love the. This is that period in Marvel where I really like the way they do the character images up in the corner. Have them stand out like that. That was always fun because those were on T-shirts back in the day. I mean, those were that was a good time to be a comic fan.
A little Starlin tease for the next auction. We have a page from Iron Man 53 that is Starlin's first ever superhero page for Marvel. It's issue 53. He only drew 3 pages in the issue, which is weird. But we have the first of the 3 pages. So it's not his first work at Marvel. He did some horror stuff before that. But it's his first hero page. And it's a nice Iron Man action page.
Oh, cool.
So something to look forward to.
All right, and this $81,000.
Yeah.
That's a very strong price.
Yeah,
it's a great cover. I mean, again, great cover. You got Iron Man and thing, and the thing. So, but yeah, that's a solid price there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what do we got? Another Buckler CAF 166 cover. This one just went for let me see, get it over here. There we go, for just under 60,000. Yeah, I like this one. I mean, you get the mummies, you get a little bit of horror thrown in there.
I actually talked to a couple people who really wanted this cover, but they couldn't. They the price was the price. But that's the thing about art. Only one person can have it.
Exactly. And Alan just mentioned that he bought the very first published artwork he ever owned came off of Comic Connect.
Thank you, Alan.
Yep. And Chuck White mentioned that it's the first time I picked up something modestly priced on Comic Connect. So looking forward to it.
There is always modestly priced stuff. I appreciate that when places have things that aren't all, super high end.
Yeah.
This is some of my better stuff on the wall, but none of it is CAF 166, range.
Not yet, anyway.
No, not yet. I have some nice things. I'm not complaining.
So, yeah, this one here surprised me. I mean, I guess it shouldn't, because I know there are quite a few Deathlock fans out there, but this one going Buckler cover again, just for over 46,000.
I mean, I think the last early Deathlock cover sold, was several years ago, and it was right around 30. So with the way prices have been going, it's actually not that surprising.
Man, the market's just going too fast for me.
This one might actually be better than the last one that sold too.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at and see, because but no, it's a great cover, of course. But another fine sale, happy consigner, great image, and we talked about the size of that crossbow. It's
a big crossbow. Deathlock doesn't mess around with normal size crossbows.
No, he does not. But yeah, no, this is a great one. And again, I mean, these are all solid results, really. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, so okay, now we're moving into some DC. We got Murphy Anderson JLA cover, sold for 46 even, 54 bids on that one.
I thought that price was nice. Also, I think the stats kept the price down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though the art is under the stats, there's still stats. I know some people.
Right.
I used to be anti-stat. I'm over it.
This is one you said they had to shift everything because Superman's head would have been cut off or something like that. Yeah. I mean, if the original art's underneath it, I mean, at the end of the day, that's why these things are what they are, unique items, and you got to take what the pieces are. You can't be upset about it. But I like that cover. I mean, I always like a good JLA cover. This era again. I was like having the mug shots on there as well. Very very.
Those aren't the comics. Those aren't original, but
no. But I mean, Yep. And and this was the one that came with the color guide.
Color guide, yeah.
And that's right. Another Buckler Spider-Man cover.
Yeah.
35.
Nice price on that too. I think right around where we thought it would be. Based on the way Black Suit Spidey stuff has been.
Here's a good question.
Yes.
So these prices are including the buyer's premium.
Yes.
Which is common. Okay. I should have asked that to start.
That's okay. Well, you can tell because the numbers are weird, because when you bid, you can only bid in whole dollar amounts.
Right.
So if you see cents, it includes the buyer's premium.
All right. Well, that's another good one. And okay, so this one had a 15%. I think most of these had the higher end stuff all had a 15%.
Some of them, I think, actually the Marvel feature didn't.
Oh, did you are correct.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next here? John Buscema, Fantastic Four interior page. Let's see.
This page surprised me a little bit.
Yeah.
I knew it would do well. I mean, it's great. But that price is strong.
Yep. I wish I would have bought some Buscema FF.
Yeah, tell me
about 5 or 10 years ago. So no, it's always disappointing when I see this. It's like, nope, not gonna have one of these pages in my collection anytime soon.
Well, not one with Galactus on it anyway.
No, or the Surfer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, this is a good one. Strong price.
Yeah.
Without question. Let's see. Another buckler. Got another. This is an interior page.
Yeah. That was a
that's
strong.
right. Yeah. I love this page too. Yeah. No, this was a really cool page. I knew that, it was going to do well. I mean, just, the last panel, of course, but you got Sabretooth as well.
Sure. And a really good drawing. Like that's a really nicely drawn page. It screams 80s to me, which makes me happy.
Yeah. Nope. I'm a fan of the 80s. Yep. So 16,675 with the juice on that one.
Yeah.
No, that's yeah. That was when we were looking at the stuff when we did the preview. This was one of my favorite pages.
Yeah. That last panel is just a great Spider-Man panel.
Okay.
Next the
Ron Friends.
I was surprised at the end that this page outpaced the half splash, or 2/3 splash, actually, maybe the other Hobgoblin. Well, we'll get to it in a couple pieces, but I mean, this page has Spider-Man on it, but I thought that big Hobgoblin image, it was tracking higher right up until the end.
Did they end around the same time, or
yep,
well,
probably back to back because they're both Friends pages from the same issue,
right?
But yeah, no, I was happy with this result. This is a piece where if I had put that piece up for sale, it would not have been $15,000.
Well, you never know anymore, though.
It's true. That's why one of the reasons why I actually think that auction is the way to go, because there's always the risk of when you're putting something up for sale of shooting too low.
Yeah, I mean it's very true. I mean, we had an incident on the Dueling Dealers a couple weeks back, and when we were just before the piece came up, Mike literally said, "I've priced this too low," and it was that I know it, and I know it's going to sell, and he pulled it up, and like 15 people tried to claim it at the same time.
Yep.
So you can, even somebody who should know what they're doing can make a mistake like that.
It's the most difficult it's been since I've been doing this. It's like trying to price things is difficult.
It is because I would have looked at it and said it, 2 months ago I would have said that's probably a fair price, but today you might as well put 20% on it or 25% and just see if it'll go, and so yeah.
It's not a black suit page, so it's not getting that black suit bump.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really nice Hobgoblin page. No, don't get me wrong.
Right. Let's see here. So we got the from Eclipse Course, Destroyer Duck.
Yep.
Kirby and
I think that price is fine. It's not low, not high. Just sort of kind of what a Destroyer Duck cover as what they've been selling for in the past, right around that 10 to 12. No love for Destroyer Duck. Oh yeah, I would love to have that cover. That would make me happy.
I hate to say it, I never read Destroyer Duck, and I should probably correct that. There's a few there's a few books that I have not.
They're not the greatest comics in the world, but they're a lot of fun. Steve Gerber is a good writer.
Let's see. We have a question from Mikhail here. Someone in your head was saying that Comic Connect might drop their buyer's premium to 7%. Any comment?
Not that I'm aware of.
They're not saying that in your head.
No, or in my office.
Yeah, which is probably more important.
Or not within earshot of me, anyway.
All right, so we have removed that myth.
Still better than 20.
That's true. That is very true. Here's the other Friends. We were just talking about. All right, so this one sold for just over 13 with the 15% buyer's premium.
Yeah, I fully expected this page to do better.
Well, like you said, though, no Spidey on it.
No Spidey, but man, look at that panel.
I know, I agree.
I mean, hey, they were both strong prices. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, no, I agree. But everybody wants Spidey.
I would have priced this one lower too, but I would have priced it higher than the other one.
Mm-hmm. No, good page, decent price, $13,225. Let's see here. We're jumping over to some Kirby Thor.
Kirby. That was a strong price for a Thor page, I think.
And I didn't pick it up. What was it? Oh, 11,600.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's a good Thor page, but it's for a small art Kirby Thor page. That price I think is strong for not a splash, not a half splash.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Thor, because it's good content. It's I'm not saying it's not a good.
Well, you get the Thor transformation alone is worth it. There, those three
That's
middle
true.
panels.
This is
I like that. Yeah, I would love to get any period, of Thor. It doesn't matter if it's friends drawing it, Kupperberg, somebody like anybody. I'd love to get a Thor transformation page one day.
Yeah, though they're cool.
Yep.
It doesn't does he transform at all in the comics anymore?
I don't know because I don't read them currently.
I don't either.
I wish I could say the last 3 years I haven't read a book. Unfortunately, I know everybody. It's blasphemy. I've got. Maybe when I get to Florida, I'll have a little bit more time. Right now, I mean, I don't even have time to pick up a comic book. But yeah, great page. I'm, as a Thor fan, I would love to have one. I've got a interior page from around this issue. I think 155 maybe, but this one's nice. Yeah. This one's really nice. Let's see here. Oh, the Wrightson. Yeah,
this was a strong price.
Yeah,
both Wrightsons did very strong.
Yeah, I like this page.
I like that page too. I still didn't expect it to go $10,000.
Well, it's but that's where everything's at these days. We're all rubbing our scratching our heads trying to figure out why things are where they are, but there's just no way to answer that anymore. I mean, it's just the market is what it is. Somebody wanted it.
And honestly, at the end of the day, bad for my collection, good for the hobby.
I agree. And I agree with Mr. Redjack. Everybody hit the like button while we're in here. It always it does help my algorithm, as Nick Berucci always likes to remind us. So let's see. Here's a Ron Lim Silver Surfer. Solid price on this
price too. Galactus. Everybody loves Galactus. I mean, I like Galactus too. If I panned over this way a little bit, you could see my Galactus toy.
I don't have a Galactus toy or statue. I used to have a Silver Surfer one though. Sideshow had sent me one as some kind of prize once before, but it was too big. I had to give it away. It was like one of those 2.5 foot tall.
Oh God! Statues are.
I was like, I don't even want to take it out of the box. I was afraid I was going to break it.
The box is probably enormous.
It was, but I was happy to. I actually sold it in a garage sale to one of my neighbors. So I hope it's proudly on display somewhere. But no, great page on this one from by Ron Lim. Great result. Yeah. I'm sure the buyer's happy, and if they're in the chat, they should make sure it ends up on CAF because I'd like to see that one on CAF.
Yeah, it could be in a CAF update show.
It could be. We're always talking about Ron Lim art. It seems like anymore, one way or another on these CAF updates. So we got another Starlin here. The Man Thing.
This price shocked me.
Yeah.
I couldn't find any, like, I don't know that I could find really any history of sales of Starlin Man-Thing pages. I think he only may have drawn the one story.
Mm-hmm.
So I had no idea how much interest there would be in it. And clearly the answer is more than I thought.
Yeah, no, well, it's a cool page.
Absolutely.
Even if it wasn't cool. Starlin to be an early Man-Thing page like this, and it's just so well done. But man, you had Starlin on top of it,
and Man-Thing all over it, which is nice.
Exactly.
Hey Noel, how are you? I saw that in the comment.
Oh yeah, Noel Daniels. Hey Noel. Yep. Yeah, Mr. Redjack says I'm going to get an 8 foot tall Galactus statue for my front yard. No, that's not going to happen.
Dennis Kitchen at his house. The first thing you see when you drive up to Dennis Kitchen's house is a full-sized Bob's Big Boy, like out next to his house.
And, your audio blanked out there. A full-size what?
Bob's Big Boy.
A Bob's Big Boy.
Yeah, he said it cost. He bought it. Dennis lives in Massachusetts, and he bought it from somebody in California. And he said it cost more to ship it cross country than he paid for this Bob's Big Boy.
Man. Yeah, those. I don't think I've seen a Bob's Big Boy statue in years, but
it's enormous. It's like 8 feet tall or something like that.
Well,
but it's cool.
Collect what you love.
Yeah, exactly. This is
right,
one that it's like this result surprised me. It's a great piece. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But
What was the
A lot.
closing? Oh,
Strong. And just over 9.
oh, 9,300. All right. Yeah, that's a nice page though.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure.
Let's see. Oh, Sal Defenders. I remember that page. Just
This is a good page.
Yeah. No, Sal drew a good Silver Surfer.
Absolutely. It runs in the family.
Of course. No,
And it's a
very good result.
A nice one.
What is she? I forget.
It's a 6, I think.
Yeah, she's 6. Yeah, right. Yeah, great page.
Yeah.
And again, I hope it ends up on CAF. Open. I remember this one as well.
Mm-hmm.
$7,200 on this Daredevil. Wow.
Somebody, cool. Like 2 days after this auction, somebody messaged me on CAF to see if I would sell the Mazzucchelli Daredevil page I have. Yeah. Nope. Sorry.
Yeah, that happens a lot too. I mean, it doesn't happen to me, but I hear that a lot. People will start getting a lot of inquiries about pieces in their collection after something like this happens. And yeah, I mean, I get it, right? Everybody's looking for a deal or just an opportunity because now they've at least put the bug in your ear. So
for sure, and they're and the thing about these is that they just aren't around,
right?
So I don't mind people inquiring about things in my gallery. I didn't mean it to be like don't ask. There are things that I've sold things through CAF before that I've gotten cold contacted on. Mm-hmm. It's if the offer is fair and it's the right piece, I'll listen. I'll entertain offers on almost anything, but not my Mazzucchelli Daredevil. I made that mistake once already.
Right, I remember. But yeah, but again, it's that's kind of where the hobby's at right now because there is
that's fine, and that's fine. I'm not complaining about it. I'm happy to have interaction with people at all, really, about through CAF.
So there you go, everybody. Send Mike an email tonight, just saying hey.
Just try to randomly buy things out of my CAF.
All right, so Grandinetti Showcase 80 nice splash.
This is one we talked about. This one during the preview, and I said that I was shocked at how inexpensive it was at the time, and clearly people noticed.
Yeah, well, sometimes people, you get the right mindset on a group of people who want the same piece of art, right? They're going to wait it out, whereas other people would rather jump in early. I'm sure somebody could write a book on the mindset of auction bidders, right? But clearly there were a lot of people waiting on this one, so that's good.
And that's good. And again, I think I thought that page was too good to go for cheap, and it didn't. So that's fine. I'm happy.
Okay. Oh, Joe Staten. I remember this one. Yeah, lots of characters on this one. This was the
first version cover.
First version. I would say it was the one that wasn't published. All right.
Right. And that's, again, I think the result is nice considering it was, you never know what an unpublished cover is going to sell for.
Right.
I thought that result was good.
Nope,
it's another one that was kind of, it didn't jump up until the end. I think on the last day it was under 2,000. So that was a nice finish.
So do you guys kind of get nervous in the office in the war room when things,
we don't get as nervous as the consigners get.
Right. No, that's probably true.
So the consigner of the Murphy Anderson Justice League cover, because I think like the Friday before the auction ended, I think that cover was at like $3,900 or something. Mm-hmm. And he was like, well, I guess that cover's not doing great. And I was like, well, it's not going to go cheap. Like it'll definitely go up, but yeah, he had no reason to be worried. That's generally what I tell people is don't worry. Good things sell for what they should.
Exactly. Well, it worked out fine in the end.
Yeah. But like that Mazzucchelli Daredevil page was at like $3,000 5 minutes into the opening of the auction, like 3 weeks before everything ended. So you never, some people like to bid early. Some people like to wait till the end. Depends on the buyer.
Exactly. So this was the, let's see, what did it go for?
I thought that was a strong result. Yeah. Yep. I love that page though. I would have loved to have that page.
That's a beauty. I mean, the pages from this book don't come up too often. So.
Yeah, we talked about that before. I don't know if I'd ever seen one before.
No, I don't recall seeing any.
Yeah,
but yeah, great page. You know, nice.
What would a page with? I mean, now what would a page with Batman sell for? I mean, I think you could be looking at like a good Batman page, being like 15 grand,
more than likely,
or more.
No, this is it was a great story.
You want to send it to me?
You'd be happy to take
not for me personally, but for an auction. I'm not fishing for gifts. Although if anybody wants to send me art, I also do accept gifts.
Hey, it's fun when it happens.
Absolutely.
Let's see what do we got here. Kurt Swan. Yeah, let me get this one. This one sold for almost $7,000.
Yeah, that was a nice. That result made me happy too. I would have been disappointed if this page went too cheaply.
Yeah, Swan. I mean, Swan's market is always soft. It seems like,
But these pages, the Legion pages are rare.
Yeah.
The 60s Legion pages. So.
Yep. So everybody's coming in, and they thought the show started at 9.
Sorry, everybody. You can go back and watch it later.
Yeah. And Rich says he had a Gotham by Gaslight page once, and he sold it, but it didn't really have bats on it.
Yeah,
so
and they were probably $80, or maybe less when those pages were first put up for sale.
Mm-hmm.
That's what art cost. What are you going to do?
Yeah, but no, a good price on this one though. So I'm happy. Kurt Swan stuff deserves to sell for more. I mean, he's such a solid artist all around.
And the Superman pages, I think what hurts the Superman pages is that there are just so many.
Yeah.
He drew that comic for longer than most people work on any single character.
That is quite true.
The consigner of this piece was thrilled.
An Assad interior. Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
We didn't see this one when we did the preview.
Nope. Nice page, good painting.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good artist. He'll be at the Big Apple convention in New York this weekend.
I believe you're right. I think Anthony was mentioning he's coming into town to do some commissions and stuff. So, yeah, I won't be able to make it to that show, but I hope anybody in the area goes to it.
I'll be there for a few hours in the early part of the show. If anybody's there and you want to come say hello, find me. It's not a big show. I'll be around.
Mm-hmm. Now, you are going to a show soon, though.
We will be next weekend. We'll be at WonderCon in Anaheim. Just nothing for sale, just previewing some of the stuff in the next auction. So we'll have some comics and a small sampling of the artwork that'll be up in our May auction, including a couple of pieces that are super exciting.
We're gonna show one of those off. I think.
Yes.
Well, not the original art, but at least we'll be able to show you what it's from. So this was that Sal Spidey Super Stories page with the origin.
Page,
yeah. No, that was really nice. So
that was a strong price for a Spidey Super Stories page, but a super cool Spidey Super Stories page.
Hey, any origin retelling is always a good page.
Yeah, I love it when origins get retold in one page.
Yeah,
I love the way Grant Morrison does Superman's origin in All-Star Superman in like 11 words,
right,
in 3 panels. It's perfect.
Right, we were looking at who was that? The Dennis Cowan I had on, and he did these Lobo versions of the superheroes' origins were told all on a single page. So you had Wonder Woman and Superman and Batman, and it's interesting when you kind of condense everything down like that.
Well, it shows you how when you boil it down, like superhero origins are generally very simple, and and also things like Spider-Man and Superman and Batman. It's like we all know their origins. We don't need it to be 4 or 5 pages long of a recap of the origin.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Rich says he bought that Mignola page for $60 when he got it.
Oh, there you go. That was close.
Yeah, those were the good old days.
I remember $150 Hellboy pages that I did not buy.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that. Mark Fong said that he'd love to get Legion page by Sherman, Nazar, or Grell.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. All those would be good picks.
They would.
But yeah, so another good one here. Another buckler, right?
Yeah, that's the Avengers page inked by Cockrum, I think, right?
Yes, it is. And this one went for just over $6.
Yeah, again, they're strong.
Irv Novick.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was cool. And just under 6 on this one.
Yeah.
Really nice.
I think, really, on this stuff, this like 70s and 80s stuff, the prices were really, really strong. Like on the big hero pieces. Really, really aggressive bidding. I like it. I like to see it.
Yeah, I actually really like this page of the Joker. I mean,
yeah,
I love that second panel.
I can't tell if he's if that's a shadow or if he tried to give him like a Cesar Romero mustache.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm trying to see if he did it anywhere else. It must just be a shadow.
I think it's just a shadow, but it reminds me of Cesar Romero, which is never a bad thing. We should all remember Cesar Romero whenever we can.
Oh man, let's see what we got. Oh, the Adi Granov.
Yeah, another strong price.
Yeah.
For that's an interior page. It's a splash. It's not a cover.
Wow, I love Adi's work.
Me too. No, it's great.
Wow.
I like that there are still guys who paint on paper, like younger artists who still paint on paper and not digital. It's nice.
Yep. No, we need more of them. More
physical art makes me happy.
It should make them happy too.
Yeah.
I had. Did you see the Sean Gordon Murphy interview I did?
I have not. I will watch it. I may try it. Can you download on YouTube so watch later, like you can with a lot of other streaming?
I don't know.
That'd be a good thing to watch on the plane next week when I go to California.
Honestly, I don't know. You'd have to. I'd have to look into that. But it was a good interview because
I do want to watch
a lot about his pricing and his his concepts to structuring things. He has like tiers 1 through 4, as you guys.
Yeah, I know he has like weird rules about like how he likes to like arrange the assortment of pages in any given issue.
Yeah, but also just his kind of view on where he makes more money, right? By being a traditional artist and everything. And so it's the after sales that are really important to him.
But I will argue that at the end of the day, the book looking the way you want it to is the most important thing. And if you can get that result digitally, then as an artist, I feel like that's the most important thing.
No, I agree as well. I mean, you got to be happy with it. And if you're younger and you've never had the residual sales of your art after the fact, then you don't know what you're missing.
Yep.
Maybe you have other ways to
would I rather, Brian Boland still drew on paper, or, Frank Wiley had his work inked or inked it himself? Like, sure, of course, it would make them visually maybe more attractive, but it doesn't hurt the prices on Quietly. That's for sure.
It does not. And Miguel mentions that if you're a premium subscriber of YouTube, then you can download it. You definitely can download it. So there's that.
Well, then I cannot.
I am not a. If I ever have regular TV again, I'm going to actually go. I'm going to use YouTube because I've used so many different services, but YouTube is just so ingrained in so many things I'm working on now that I'm going to probably, if I do it, it's going to be through them instead of Hulu's and all those other things. So
no offense to YouTube, but I pay for enough streaming things.
I want my YouTube free, darn it.
Yes.
Yes, I get it.
I miss my free Hulu.
Yeah, I had Hulu for a long time, actually.
I still have Hulu, but it's not free anymore, and it's still commercials in it.
All right, let's look at a few more pieces here. Here's a Gene Collins sold for just under $5 with the buyer's premium. Really nice.
Yeah, nice.
Action is only Gene can do it.
Absolutely.
And Mikhail says it's worth it for the ad-free alone. That's probably true. As everybody knows, yeah, my stuff has ads all over it now. Like you can't watch.
Not when you watch it live, though, right? Only on the replays.
No, only on the replay. Yeah. Well, it used to actually set the ads to be on there when it was live, so I actually had to go in and mess around with the settings so it wouldn't do that. And but it does turn it on after the live broadcast is over. So, because it was doing it on Dueling Dealers, and that, of course, was messing up everybody trying to claim artwork. So I learned how to fix that one fast. So, Yeah, Mikhail says he'll
Yeah, I
trade you.
saw that.
We've all got a sense of humor here in the chat.
Tempting.
Yes. Let's see what do we got here. Another piece by Sal, Spider-Man 2008 splash page. What we got? 52. Yep.
I thought the modern Sal Buscema Spider-Man pieces did very strong. I mean, and I consider the 90s modern. I'm sorry, I'm old.
That's a good one. Good price as well.
Yeah. There was a few of the couple of the Buscemas. There was the Steve Butler Spider-Man splash that I thought did fantastic. Spider-Man, I mean, yeah, I don't know that there's anything hotter art-wise than Spider-Man right now.
Nope. Yeah. Not at all.
That's the other, Colin, Cap.
The other Colin one, yeah. Hey, you got Falcon and Cap battling. Yep. Nothing wrong with that. What was the price on that one? 53. All right. So we got this the Buckler Submariner cover, the Dave Cockrum X-Men page. See, look at that. Even so, this is from let's see what issue.
Second run.
Second run, issue 161. Yep. I used to have like 10 Cockrum pages, mostly from second run.
Yeah, well, they used to be cheap.
They were.
I remember when you could get Paul Smith X-Men pages for a couple $100. That wasn't that long ago. I mean, you don't have to go back 25 years for that.
No, but I tried buying.
You didn't see them very often, but when you did, they weren't expensive.
Right. Well, after a certain collector was buying them all up, it made it almost impossible to get them. I mean, every time one would come up and I'd be a player. I'd be like, I'm going to spend $3,000 this time. I'm going to get this page. And it would go, for a couple bids higher than what I was willing to go. And I did that like on 4 different eBay auctions where I said, all right, I'm going to go to here. And every single time I got outbid. So I never tried again after that. All right, let's see here. Look at a couple more. Which ones would you like to look at?
I'm trying to see what. I
know it's probably small on your screen there.
I mean, it's fine. You can pick whatever. I thought that the Perez page was a real strong result. The Teen Titans.
Yeah, this was a nice page.
I mean, it's unfortunate. The timing, I mean, definitely has something to do with it, and that's sad. But it's the reality of, collecting. But a great page too. It's like, so I think it's a combination of, things that are going on, and also it just being a really good page.
No, it is. I mean, everybody, even if we've always talked about it. I mean, I didn't really read DC a lot, but when Perez worked on Titans, I mean, I had to buy him. You could just tell there was something special happening there. And I had never read a Titans book before that. So it was, his work on that's just amazing. All these early ones. And so this was from issue 20. So very nice.
First the New Teen, because New Teen Titans changed, like rebooted. So
exactly.
It's like first run New Titans. That Greg Land piece, that was a nice price. This by the symbiote Spider-Man piece.
Oh, right here. Got it. Yep.
For an interior splash.
Oh yeah, just over 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful inks on that one. Yeah. Jay's a good inker on Land's.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like one of those like nice, like those like inkers that pair really well. It's like Tony Harrison and Wade Von Grawbadger. It's like they complement each other.
Let's do another page here just to see what we got before we tease some things here for you.
Yeah.
We got a Kubert cover. Newton Gill.
That strong price on that Batman page, that Man-Bat page.
Oh, right up here.
Yeah.
Look at that. Almost 4,000. Yeah, that was a solid page, though.
Yeah, no, real nice.
Yeah,
I really like. I'm gonna. It's
really
probably
nice
like I live with these things for so long that when they sell and we have to ship them to the people who win them, I miss them.
You felt like you got to own them for a few months.
A little bit. A lot of them like hang out by my desk for a good amount of time. Sometimes I keep them there longer than I probably should.
Yeah, just delay that shipping one more day, please. Let's see what else we got here. We got some Berucci, Starlin, Batman,
Starlin, Sandman page. I think I think people get the gist. Auction's strong. People are buying.
Exactly.
So good time to consign.
That is true. And just like Ruben said, I was just going to say, Ruben mentioned that on the Newton that those were very rights-ish, and I was thinking the same.
Agree.
Hey, it's never a bad thing when you're trying to do an homage in style to Bernie. Yes, on the Man Bad page, exactly.
So yeah, if you want to give people a little taste of what's coming up at our next auction, and if anybody's gonna be at WonderCon, we'll have some pieces on display. So the big one that's a super. I was telling Bill before the show that it's maybe one of the coolest things I've ever been a part of selling. So this is Frank Miller's cover to Comics Interview magazine, and it predates the publication of Dark Knight Returns #1. So this came out in like January of 1986.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Knight #1 came out in April or March or April. So, but it's like 2 or 3 months before Dark Knight 1 came out. And, it's just it's awesome. It's a fabulous, Dark Knight and Robin cover.
And you're going to have this original.
Original will be on display in WonderCon, yeah.
And it has not been available.
It's never publicly sold. It's actually been in one with one owner since it was published. So for almost 40 years.
That's a great image.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's just, another thing I was saying earlier is that like the Dark Knight covers are the Dark Knight covers, and they're all iconic in their own way. But with the exception of #2, none of them have a ton of drawing on them. And this one is just, it's just great drawing. It's like real clear images of the two characters. Very, very Millery.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's cool. It's actually in the original. The cape extends farther.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
don't think it extends all the way.
Yeah. Well, too bad we don't have the. Well, you'll be able to see. What you should do, Micah, is at the setup, take a few pictures of your booth and everything.
Oh, for sure. There will definitely be pictures online.
You can
maybe even before.
Send them to me. I could put them in the CAF update. I always try to do,
Oh, sure.
From gallery shows or conventions. I like to show photos after they happen, or any video clips if I could. So if you guys would do that, I would definitely.
Yeah, no,
I would do some PR for you.
Absolutely. What else do we have coming up? There's some more Buckler. Everybody loves Buckler. It's more Buckler, more covers, more Black Suit Spidey pages, more Man Thing pages.
Mm-hmm.
Just more cool stuff from there. The other piece that's very exciting is, and I was confused me when we got it, but it's the John Romita cover to Son of Origins of Marvel Comics.
Oh, sweet!
But it's not painted; it's a black and white line art version.
Mm-hmm.
And that confused me because I was like, but this cover is painted. And then we figured out that he did it again in black and white for print ads. So it looks like the cover. It's got all the trade dress on it. It has the title and everything, title stats and everything. But it was used for print because comics in the 70s couldn't print paintings. So Romita actually redid the cover. It's amazing. It's stunning. That'll be on display at WonderCon too. What else we talked about the first Starlin superhero page. We've got a Kirby Hulk page from Tales to Astonish. So that's fantastic. The leader.
West wants to know if you've got any Ditko Spidey.
We don't have Ditko Spidey, but we do have a Ditko Creepy page that is stunning. Stunning. Ditko's Warren work is maybe my favorite art he ever did. What else? We got a Byrne Teen Titans page from the only Teen Titans story that Byrne ever did. It's Byrne and Garcia Lopez, which I think is the only time they ever worked together also.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Something to see.
I'm trying to think. There's some good stuff. There's another Bernie Writes in Cult page, and there's a really nice Sienkiewicz Moon Knight page. There's so much more that I'm forgetting. I should have made a list.
It all sounds good already. Even the Sienkiewicz Moon Knight page. Does it have Moon Knight on it?
There's and exciting to me personally. For me personally, one of the coolest pieces of art I've ever seen. So for you alternative comics fans, we have from Love and Rockets #2, page 1 from Jaime Hernandez's Mechanics story. So page 1 from Mechanics, which is super exciting. And then another 2-page story from Love and Rockets #3 called Love and Rockets, which I think is the only Love and Rockets story that's titled Love and Rockets.
That sounds pretty cool.
And
I'm featuring a piece of art by Jaime later in the show.
Jaime's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I love his story.
And like those pages are just exciting to see because I've seen early Love and Rockets pages. I mean, I have a relatively early Love and Rockets page, but it's not issue 2 early. And it's not page 1 of Mechanics early. Like that's probably the first page of his art that I ever read because I read those stories collected. It's fabulous.
McSpidey fan wants to know if any McFarlane art.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Maybe. You never say never. We're still taking consignments for this auction for another month or so.
Okay.
And we do have a cool Rob Liefeld convention drawing of the Beast from 1990. It's big. It's like a full figure Beast by Liefeld from 1990, which is actually kind of it was when I saw it, I was like, well, this is really cool. Because when was the last time Rob Liefeld did convention drawings that elaborate? Probably around 1990.
Yeah, well, there were a lot of issues, right? I think he had people copying him at conventions and some
yeah.
So yeah, he had. I know.
But I mean, you can't do drawings like that when your line is 5 hours long.
Correct.
Yeah,
that is very.
And that's what
too.
I mean. I waited on one of those lines in 1992, so.
So you know what it feels like.
Yes.
Let's see other questions.
He thought it was hilarious.
Any Sandman art?
We have another page from the Allred issue.
Okay.
We do have a Sandman page up for sale in the marketplace. It's the splash page from issue 4 or issue 2. I'm sorry, issue 2. Even better. It's a splash page from issue 2 that features the first appearance of Lucifer in the Sandman comic.
Oh, cool.
It's up for sale. It is not inexpensive. What other Miller art will be? Well, there may or may not be another Miller Comics interview cover. Featuring that actually predates this Dark Knight cover. So if you want to take a wild guess what that might be.
Everybody's doing Google searches right now. Just to see. I'll be doing them after the show. And any Bolland or Michael Golden from Memoir?
Not yet. Never say never. Okay. Not as of yet.
All right.
Well, we haven't had a Bolland in an auction for a while. They don't come up very often.
No, they don't. They really don't. But like a couple people have already said, it does sound like
it's not Daredevil.
Solid. That was a good guess, though, Eric. And Hart has a question about what's your process for consigning art.
It depends. I mean, for me, I like to do whatever makes the consigner happiest. So, we will, our terms, we have flexible terms. We can be, we have some maneuverability with our fees and commissions. That's something we can discuss on a consigner by consigner basis. We do, we'll do cash advances if that's if that's something that's attractive to somebody who's looking for that. They don't, but it all depends on what kind of it all varies, depends on what you're consigning, and call me in the office. I'm happy to talk about anything anybody's considering consigning, and we can work out whatever makes you the happiest.
Or you can email Micah at, what is it? Micah S.
Micah S at climateconnect.com.
There you go. Let's one last question from the audience for Mark. Yeah, okay, you already answered yes on that. Of course, it's
the most difficult thing is not being able to bid on things that I'm selling, because we sell some things that I would love to be able to bid on, and I can't. But that's okay. There's other places to get this stuff.
You got to have it hanging near your office typically for a month or so, so it felt like you got to own it.
The other Miller, so just to not keep people hanging, the other Miller Comics interview is a Ronin cover.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I'd be interested in that one.
Yeah. It's going to be less expensive than The Dark Knight and still very expensive.
Right, of course. I could be interested and still not have a chance at it, though.
I can see Nick Berucci going like this, going like,
Right. How can I swing for both of these? But no, it sounds like a fantastic auction already, Micah. Really. I mean, I can't even.
No, it's exciting.
Because we've previewed your auctions for a while now, and I can't say that that's a really eclectic group of art, but I mean, all on the high end of eclectic. I mean, really good, desirable artists, titles.
Well, there's there's other stuff. There's always going to be other stuff too. But it's exciting. What I like, the big pieces bring in maybe people who haven't looked at our auctions before.
Mm-hmm. And
that's always, I want to expand our bidding base. I want more people looking at our stuff. And the truth is that this Miller cover is going to bring people into our auction who maybe haven't looked.
Sure.
And that's bad for bidders, bad for people who have been buying from us for years, who are happy that less people look. But sorry.
Yeah. But all right. Well, listen, Micah, this was fun as always, and it's good to have it. This is nice. We were able to do a little preview now that we know that you've got some really cool pieces coming in.
And a handful of that stuff will be on display at WonderCon. There'll be pictures on Instagram, our Comic Connect Art Instagram page, mm-hmm. And the auction preview should be live relatively soon, if it's not already. I know that the art's probably not live yet because that's my job and I haven't done it. So,
well, you've got your work cut out for you.
You do.
But I was going to say, make sure you take those pictures or any video when you're at the show.
Absolutely.
And the artwork, I'd love to have that. And even if you do shoot video, you can send me I'll give you a place to upload the raw clips. I can put it into something that I can preview here. So.
Great.
Happy to do it for you.
That's great. Yeah, and if anybody is going to be at the show who wants to bring potential consignments for us to look at, happy to. That's why we're there. Same thing in New York on Saturday. I'll only be there for a couple hours, but other people will be there. They'll be happy. I'm there. They can get me on the phone pretty quickly if they need to. But yeah, always. I'm happy to talk to anybody who's interested in consigning, and it's having a conversation doesn't mean you have to make a decision. Just want to have that conversation.
All right. Well, there you go. So everybody, yep. Well, thank you, Micah. And so we're gonna get
the second time in 2 weeks. I'm eating into your show.
Hey, that's all right. It's another hour in. I mean, hey, we could have started at 8 now. We could have done what we did last week. I just thought we were going to talk for about a half hour, but I'm learning as I go as well, how I got to work these things in. So, but it's good. I'm glad we were able to go over this, and I look forward to whatever you can send me after the con next weekend.
Absolutely. Will do.
All
right. Thanks.
All right.
See you, everybody.
All right. So, hey, now we're on to the CAF update, but that was fun. That was actually good. I think it was a good teaser to see that particular cover was going to be available. I know that probably nobody knew that, and I didn't know it before we got started. I thought it was pretty cool. So like everybody's saying, yeah, please hit the like button. It's always good for the show. Thank you, Nick, for getting everybody riled up to click the like button. and it does go. These are always, it's always good to start with these. I can tell you, I've got something that I've got to do with Hakes next week. They had a really good showing, and so they asked me to do a recap with them. So I actually told them I was going to do it on Thursday, but on Thursday I've got I'm doing the CAF update next week on Friday. So I'm going to have to figure out how I can work this out with Hakes now, because Hakes wanted some time to go over a recap too. So I know that I don't think these things bore everybody. It's fun, right? At the end of the day, we at least get to talk a little bit. It's not with Albert and Mike and Nick helping me through a heritage recap or a comic link recap, but I think it's good for the auction houses to get back in here with me, and we also like looking at artwork and on final prices and everything. So I hope you enjoyed it. Speaking of cracking the whip, you're going to get a laugh out of something I put together tonight. I was going through and trying to organize all of the memes and different stuff that we've put together in the last year or so with dueling dealers and whatnot. And I there was some really funny stuff from that Bindiana Jones episode that I did with Mike for one of those bin dives on a Saturday. And there was all these basically outtakes and stuff that we never used. I totally forgot we even shot them. So I don't know if I'm ever going to have the opportunity to actually use them in memes. So I kind of cobbled it all together into this little segment that will allow me to like go grab a soda pop or something while you guys watch that. But so we're going to start the CAF update and cover a few things here. I've got a few things to talk about and a few things to open. So I think I'll probably might as well start with like my mailbag stuff first. It was really weird. Somehow my email address got associated with a package that was traveling through Canada, through Canadian Post. And I was wondering, what could Ruben be sending me? And then it turned out that the end destination was someplace in Canada, but somehow Bill at comicartfans.com was associated with it. And it was funny. It literally listed the sender as, I think it said something like amateur artist or something artist. I just feel like it said amateur, but that may or not be true. But it didn't list a address of the sender or anything. So I was all excited. I'm thinking, what could I possibly be getting from a fan in Canada? And it wasn't for me. So who would have put my address as the one to get notifications for something? Mel Canadian Master. Yeah, exactly. Here, but let me see. What did I get over here? Okay, this is what I expected it to be, a big pile of heritage catalog stuff. I'm sure most of you also get these as well. But if you haven't already looked, the heritage auction is pretty crazy. I know I've actually gotten probably like 5 emails from people that want me to talk about, just what's going on, with the amount of artwork. And we did kind of touch on that a little bit. I think already, there's so much art in the upcoming heritage signature auction, and so much of it, higher than top shelf. I don't know what would be above top shelf. I'm not a drinker, but whatever that level is above that, the artwork that's in the upcoming heritage auction is unbelievable. And I think we're going to see some pretty stellar results from this, the auction that is the second weekend in April. So if you got your catalogs, go through them. You should, if you don't get them, I know that you can just email them and they will actually put you on their list. They like to send these out. They print a ton of them. I got the comic book ones too that I probably won't even go through, but yeah, very solid. Nice get from them. I did get from, well, this wasn't to me, but I'm considering it mine. It went to when my daughter Emma got that artwork from Matt Kennedy. He included a couple catalogs from a show that he curated. Yeah, Pop Sequentialism is Matt's, popsequentialism.com is his website. And so I haven't looked through these yet, but this is from a while ago, actually, from about 10 years ago, but it's clearly got a very nice Rorschach page on the front of that. And yeah, I didn't take it out of the Mylar, but I will. Let's see, 2 things here. This one, no, don't want to open that one first. What was this one here? All right, I'll take a look at this one. This one was from Sean Gordon Murphy and his rep Jeff. I'm assuming this is the book that I said I never knew he had done, and they said they would send me a copy. So I just want to take a quick look here, confirm it. So I can send him a nice thank you. And yep, that is what it looks like. This was from that Kickstarter that they did, Plot Holes. What was it? Over $200,000 in Kickstarter money. So, yep. So I've got my own copy now. I'm happy to have that. If anybody has read that one, don't tell me any secrets to it. I will read it this weekend. And one more package. This one is from Dynamic Forces. So let's see here. Hey, look at, I cut myself the last time I opened a package from Dynamic Forces. There probably was a way to get that thing open without me drawing any blood. But now we're in trouble because it does say there's a pull tab. Let's see. You guys are funny. I'm reading the chat now. Someone claimed Chump's own daughter. Yeah, well, she's not going to look at that and enjoy the catalog like I am. All right, I've got to break out the knife again. Let's see. Fortunately, I am I'm tiling the office floor in the other room, so I've got a knife handy at all times. Nick Berucci sent me a picture of this, and I didn't know why he sent me a picture of this. I thought maybe he was just showing off some sketch cover that Ken had done for somebody else, because there were obviously several people who got sketch covers. I know one of them turned up on CAF this past week. So Nick sent me this picture, and I was like, man, that's really awesome. And then he follows it up with I'm going to send it to you. And I was like, that can't be for me, right? But here is a sketch cover by Ken Hazer. And look at that. I think I was saying when I got those other ones that if I ever got one again, I'd want to have me with the Thor helmet. So now I don't have the Thor helmet on, but I'm all dressed as Thor in that one. So I like it. I say the nay. Look at that. That is so freaking awesome. Thank you so much, Nick. This one's going to go up on CAF. I haven't even scanned the other two that I've got, but this one's not going to my mom. I'm keeping this one. So this one is all mine. Thank you, Nick Berucci. Yeah, is that a fun one? I mean, shoot, come on. Now look at that. I've got three covers now. So happy. That's awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Nick. I appreciate it. So that is actually all the packages I have to open today. So, I know I've got actually a few things that are due to come in, but they weren't here already. So we can do those another time. But, one of the things we talk about a lot on here is the Comics Buyer's Guide. Now, I'm sure a lot of people who are new to the hobby have actually never seen a Comics Buyer's Guide issue and whatnot. We can't chide people about scanning when you don't do it yourself. That is very true, Chris. I really got to get a little bit better at all this. It's just the time, everybody. I am trying. I have been, even though the mini golf did sell, I didn't go there much this week, but last week I was there probably 3 or 4 days going over things with the guy who bought it, trying to show him, how to prep the different stuff on the course, the ponds, all that. So I've been hanging out over there. And I mean, literally the guy texts me 5 or 6 times a day, asking me different questions and stuff. So even though it's sold, I'm helping him transition. I want to make sure he's successful at it. And so I have been spending a bit more time at that. I would have rather been not. But yeah, so old buyer's guide stuff. You can still get these on eBay if you're curious. There's always interesting old ads and what I was hoping. Yeah, I actually picked these up, probably about a year ago, just to kind of for a nostalgia thing. But it's always nice to see the old ads, and mostly for comics. I think in one of these, I've got a couple issues here. There was a section where a couple pages dedicated to Russ Cochran and some of the upcoming auctions that he had back in the day. These are from 1977. So what the buyer's guide was 7 years old at that time. So it started in 70. But these are always fun to go through, and they're not too expensive. Lots of sellers have them on eBay. So, I took a gamble on picking a couple up that didn't have too much original comic art in them. But again, lots of fun old ads from the mid 70s. I mean, if you were reading Zines and those sorts of things back then, everybody was aping. There you go. Look at somebody named Cruz, but it's aping Crumb, of course. So yeah, so that's what these are. And the only reason I thought to pull those out was because of the creation guide that I showed you guys the other day. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to dig those out too, because And that was this one here from my first big con that I ever went to, Creation Con in Cleveland in 1980. Still held on to this thing the whole time, and it's not even in bad shape. Zines. Mel says he threw a pile out. Yeah, you should have kept them. You could have at least sold them for $5-8 a piece. So that, and then I was digging through some other stuff because somebody asked me about, I don't know, short hair, Bill, and when I had short hair, and it reminded me of a photograph I had from one of the big WoW shows, and so I thought I'd dig that out. Gosh, I don't look anything like this anymore. But yeah, there you go. This is when I owned Big WoW Comic Fest with Morger and Frank Cho and Steve Wyatt and Marquet, and Tatiana was always helping out. But that was from the year that I remember I was mentioning recently about being Stan's handler, having to get him his Orange Crush and whatnot. Well, this is that was what my haircut looked like back in the day. I think I still had several corporate clients, and so keeping the hair trim and clean was good, and got my picture with Stan as well, so that was fun. There was a really good picture taken of all of the owners with Stan, and I never got a copy of that one. I was always disappointed. Yeah, he didn't sign. He signed it across his chest, didn't he? Right, look at that. He did. Well, that was the best spot to do it, I think. Right? And where else was he going to do? I guess you could have done it across mine, but he did it in the most appropriate spot on himself. So let's see a couple other. I don't take too many celeb photos, but here is me with Malfoy. There you go. Look at that. So yes, I was digging through. I had a little folder of all these different pictures I'd gotten. So there's me with Malfoy. That was at a big WoW actually, and and then here was one with me and Bruce Campbell. And I'm just looking like a total dork. I put my hand on Bruce Campbell's hip, and he does whatever the heck he's doing right there. When Maureen and I we've told you many times, we're big Evil Dead fans. That's why we named our son Ash. And look, I'm out of focus again. This camera, I got to get a new one, or I've got to get a better lighting system here, because man, this camera is ticking me off. Do that. Look at my hands in focus. It doesn't want to focus back. Anyway, so Maureen and I were in line together, but when we went to get the picture with Bruce Campbell, she either went before or after me, and she had a plan. She had a game plan. She goes in and she told him act frightened, and so they both put on these totally startled look on their face, and it was perfect. And here I am looking like Bruce is my pal. So that tells you never. Yeah, he's saying pinch harder, Bill. Right, exactly. All that means is when you're spending $75 or more to get a picture with somebody you'll never get a chance to get a picture with again, have a game plan going in. Don't just walk in thinking you should, put your hand on a guy's shoulder and you're going to get a good picture. Because Maureen got a great picture, and I've got one that I will probably never hang on the wall. And Maureen's laughing in the other room. She can't hear me. I was so mad because when I saw hers, I'm like, why didn't you tell me to do something like that? I mean, I rely on Maureen for help and guidance in these kinds of situations. If we would have went in there together for that picture, it would have been fantastic. So yeah, live and learn. But $75, same as the Ditko page back then. I don't remember when that was. That picture was probably from around 07 or 08. But I'll show you a couple. There's one other funny picture, and this is not a picture with me or anybody, but Maureen. I remember I had gotten her some signed stuff. And does anybody remember like that Who Wants to Be a Superhero show that was out there? We were remember Maureen, Ashton, and I were at the Pittsburgh Comic-Con one year. So probably was like 04 or 05. And look, we got a picture. Remember that? Who Wants to Be a Superhero? So look, Fat Mama was there, and Maureen got a nice signature, Keep It Real from Fat Mama. I don't know. Probably nobody even remembers that show, but it was funny. It's one of those reality goofy shows. Okay, Mr. Redjack remembers it. Good. I'm glad somebody else remembers it. But no picture with Fat Mama though. All right, so that's those there. What else did I have for us today? Let me see. Oh, if you weren't watching my Hakes preview, I did have I had an art day. And again, sorry, Chris Snork, I have not posted them to CAF as yet, but I'll take them out of the bags and show them off here. I know we didn't have a huge Did Eddie Murphy play all the roles? Exactly. And Ron Lim has no idea who those people are. It was one of those, it would be like a precursor to the goofy reality shows where it was a contest. So people got to kind of come up with their own superhero identity, and then they had to just do tasks. And I don't even remember. It's been a while. I mean, that's like 18 years. Well, no, it couldn't have been 18 years ago. It probably was about 16 years ago when it came out. Hart says it was a very goofy show. So indeed, it was a very goofy show. So one of my pickups for those who did not see it, and you wouldn't see it in my CAF yet because I haven't scanned it yet, Chris. Frank's. Let's see. The first up was a Frank Springer and Vince Coletta Dazzler number 9 page. Picked it up for Mr. Berkey the weekend before last. So got Dazzler on most of it, and I got Claw, of course, there in the bottom. A couple panels. They're being mean to Claw, but he's secretly got a crush on Dazzler, and the light power thing and all that. So I think that I don't remember how that story wound itself down, but yeah. 1981 on this one, stamped with some ink tests on the back. So I was happy to get that. I don't think I've owned a piece of art from Frank Springer before, and I get a mutant character as well. So I was happy about that. And this next piece here was by Sal Buscema. And this was from ROM, issue 32. Look at that top panel there. I'm going to be out of focus after this is done, I'm sure. But man, I love that. As much as I like the fact that it's got Mystique and Rogue and everything on there, and it looks like Scarlet Witch in that little image right over here, right around there. Just a really nice ROM page. I mean, I just love it. I love the top panel. I mean, gosh, I love that. I want that on this could go on my wall as a print right there. Just that top panel. I just totally dig that. And you get some early Rogue, obviously. So great ROM page. Yes. And hybrid. Yes. Thank you, Mark. Yep. Thanks, Scott. This was really, I'd kind of set this one aside over at Mike's a while ago, and every time I'd see it, I was like, that's the one I should take. And I was taking something else every time. And I passed up, and I kind of regret it that I got this one because I like the top panel a lot, but he had another page where, and I think it was the page before this one, because you see, Rogue's kind of flipped out here. I remember in the panel before that, she kisses Rom, right? And and it was just a freaky page, and I should have picked that one in, but Mike had already sold that one by the time I got this one, so I'm happy with the one I've got. Does he have another? I don't know about that, Jason. I'd have to check. I don't think so. I mean, I remember 2 years ago, he had bought the complete issue. I think it was on Comic Link, probably like 4 or 5 years ago. And I mean, as recent as probably 18 months ago, I know he had 5 pages to it, but I think this was the last one that he had. But I can double check the next time I'm over there. I'm going to be over there on Sunday because I have to drop off that stack of art from the Dueling Dealers episode on Wednesday, because I think he gets back from Disney tomorrow. So yes, could be a bin dive. Glenn posted a Ditko ROM today for $12K. Yowza. Yeah, you're right. Eric says only $12K. Well, I remember. I'll have to check that out. I remember that issue. He had a couple issues, didn't he? But anyways, Jason, I will let you know if I see any. I'll make a note to see if he has any more of the pages from that book. I can't promise you anything though, but I will look. Making a note for Jason. All right, so that was my art. So maybe I'll have something else when I come back from Mike's house on Sunday, but I can't promise it because things have been. He's probably going to not be in the mood to have me hang out for too long after he gets back from there. But I will let you know, Jason. When's the next Berkey bin dive? That is something we are going to talk about when I'm over there. I told him that I want to try to, we want to have some diversity, in the show coming up. So, I can go ahead and talk about some of the schedules coming up as well. Let's see. Ron Berman mentions I got a ROM 32 page from Berkey a couple years ago. It's one of his favorites. Right. I mean, it was a really good issue, and definitely Mike he got the whole issue when he bought it from Comic Link, but he's been selling pages from it ever since. So, but I will check for Jason. Are considering an all DC bin dive. I don't know about that, Ruben. I mean, I guess we could. We could think about it. I mean, anything's possible. He's got plenty of DC art, and we'll see what he does. But let's see, what do I want to go over? Oh yeah, the CAF schedule. Let me hit on a couple things here. The chat schedule, really haven't added too much to it, although I have actually put some new people on the schedule, but I haven't updated this chart. So this just is the upcoming chats I've got going on. I've got Jeremy Roberts next Tuesday, and then on Thursday, rather than we're doing a CAF update, I've got Dino and Nick Berucci. We're going to be doing that piece about artwork from their collections that they have not shown on CAF. And so we'll talk a little bit about that. Dino gave me a list of several of the pieces he's bringing, and they are all really interesting. I think everybody's going to enjoy it. I haven't seen a preview yet from Nick yet, but we've got a whole week to get that ready, Nick, so no pressure. Then the following week, I'll do a preview with Heritage on their major signature auction before it starts. Got Gene Park after that, and Nick Patera coming up after that. I mean, there's lots of good shows. Josh Raybuck from Modern Mythology. Joe and Nadia will be on for a second chat. Frank Lanza. On the 14th, I'm going to be doing a live stream from Lake Como, and that'll be with Tatiana, but I imagine we'll get to see several of the guests there as well, because it will be while the show is live. I do believe on Saturday when we do that Lake Como show that it will probably be early. I hate to say it, because what are they, 6 hours ahead of where I'm at. So we've talked about it being a 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time stream. So, I don't expect to be going 2 hours on that, because I think they're going to be doing some kind of a handheld for that. It could be even off of an iPhone. I really don't know. Tatiana and I have not worked out the details for it, but it'll be fun. I mean, to get to see that show. Yeah, I've always wanted to go. I know, Mark Hayes going to be there. Annabelle from Kirby's Comic Art will be there. Joseph Melchior is going to be there from Brit Comics Art. I mean, I'm probably forgetting a ton. Obviously, Morgan's going to be there, and several other dealers as well. So it should be a cool show. And just to get a live walkthrough, and maybe talk with some of the guests and some of the sellers there, will be a really fun experience. I'm looking forward to it. And then my good friend Stephen DeVeach is going to be on after that. So that's going to be fun. He and I finally reconnected. I guess maybe he never got the memo that I had asked him a year ago to be on the show, but he heard me say that on one of the CAF updates, so he got in touch with me, and so we're going to do that. Yeah, looking forward to that. And sorry, a couple things here. Dino and Nick is a must-see. No Albert on the schedule yet, sorry to say. But let's see. Here are the upcoming art sale shows. I can't promise that those 3 consecutive regular shows are going to be regular shows. We'll probably mix in something or other, lower end show. You never know. But next Monday, I've got Next Comic Art on, and it's going to be with Betsy Cola, Rian Gonzalez, and Sowie. So I know I hadn't gotten a list from Jiggy on which artists of his were going to be a part of that show, but now I do. And I can tell you that all 3 of the ladies will be bringing artwork for sale. So it's going to be, it'll be an interview show, of course, but we will be selling art for all 3 of them throughout it. So I haven't gotten any of the previews for the art yet, but if you're a fan of all 3 of them, I know there's a lot of fans of Rian out there, but Betsy and Sowie as well. I've got a piece by Rian finally myself. That's going to be a show that you're not going to want to miss, because obviously I've done a lot of shows with Jiggy, and we've yet to get Rian's always kind of been in the chat a few times, so I think it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to it, and I know a lot of people will probably want to check out the artworks that they've created specifically for that night for the sale. So I think it's going to be a good show you're not going to want to miss. Got Carl Moline. I got to get that right one of these days. Once I talk to Carl, I'll have him on the 16th. We've got that, and that's a Saturday. Monday show with Nick Berucci and Jordan, $500 or less, 24 artworks a piece from those guys. It's going to be a fantastic show with great prices and great art. And now, newly added, I can announce that Mr. Scott Wingo, McSpidey fan, and Dave Bixler will be my guests for an amateur show on April 25th. That's a Monday at 9 p.m. It's not Carl Moen. Marcus, I know that. And then, as I've mentioned before, I'll have Joe Linsner on Saturday, April 30th, and also Harvey Talabau on Monday, May 2nd. And as far as the McSpidey and Dave Bixler show goes, it will probably, we've discussed a kind of DC versus Marvel slant to that one. So we'll see what both of those guys settle on, but it's going to be, and there you go. See, Scott has confirmed it. Marvel versus DC.
I should have said Marvel first in that, but I didn't. But yes, Marvel versus DC show should be good. Spidey versus Bats. Yes, exactly. It's going to be an interesting one. And and again, so we're, I look at the next, really, this is 6 weeks of shows, and we've got 6 special sales shows going on. So trust me, I'm honored that everybody is, always open and wanting to support what we're doing here by hosting these shows with me. And you know what? I just realized that I left one show out, if you can imagine that. When is that show? Where are we at? And you know where it is? It's on the 11th. I didn't put it in there. I am going to have on the 11th Ken Carson and Jeffrey Dunn, both guys from 4C Comics, as you know. So we'll be doing a amateur bout with them as well. So that's 7. Gosh, that's a lot of sales shows. So yeah, we're gonna have to go low on the Dueling Dealer shows. I know Anthony will be happy about that. But yes, on the 11th, and I apologize to Ken and Jeff for not including them on there. That was something we just ironed out in the last week. So I kind of forgot to put it on there on my little calendar here for you. But yeah, Ken Carson and Jeffrey Dunn, and yeah, so we've got a full slate of sales shows coming up. But that's just good for everybody, because it's going to be a very eclectic, diverse group of art, and something different from the usual fare that we get from Mike and Anthony, which is always good. So we'll keep things very interesting. So before I move on to the next thing, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, for a lot of people who missed me mentioning it, that I was going through, after we did the St. Patrick's show, I got to dress up as Indiana Jones again. And it reminded me, hey, I remembered shooting a bunch of stuff with Mike that we never used. And so I was going through the archives of clips we've done just to see what was out there. And there's just no way I'm going to go back to re-edit it. We shot. You'll see in the set of clips that I'll have for you that the sidecar shows, memes and things that we did on that part of the segment were really tough to actually put together. It literally, it looks like everything is really easy to kind of put that together, but the sidecar and the motorcycle, I mean, we literally had 6 or 7 layers of the bike, and then our video clips on top of it. And even though we actually filmed the segments together, we kind of superimposed them just to kind of make the angles look right. So again, there was a ton of material that we didn't use. And so I just kind of grabbed the things that made me laugh while I was looking through them and put them into this clip. It is about 4 minutes long, but hey, this is a bathroom break time. If you don't want to watch it, you can go grab a drink and then come back. But I think you'll get a laugh out of this. You'll want to see it. So what I've included in it was essentially the first 30 seconds is the clip that we used with Mike and I riding through the forest, and with the sidecar. And then I show the green screen as we used it for editing. And then the rest of it is the raw footage that we did with different takes. And, I mean, you'll get all the jokes and everything from that. But again, none of it was ever used, but which is unfortunate, because we have a ton of this material that we probably never ever use in any of the shows that we've got, just because we're always riffing and just trying to figure out ways to make a joke while we're shooting these things together. But this was a fun one, and it makes me want to do another Indiana Jones type of episode. Maybe not as involved as the last one, but at least use those 2 characters in something imaginative in the next bin dive. So here, I'm going to play this for you. And again, you can go get something to drink. Just turn your volume up and enjoy.
All right, Pops. We're almost to the warehouse. That map says there's treasure there, Junior. Just hold on to your hat, old timer. Okay. All right, Pops. We're almost to the warehouse. That map says there's treasure there, Junior. Yeah, well, you just hold on to your hat, because we're going to get there fast. Okay. I'm not really sure what I want to say. So, hey, Pops, we got to get to that warehouse. Oh, man, we're almost to the museum. Or not the museum. God damn it. Son of a bitch. Now that's all I can think of. All right, Pops. We're almost to the warehouse. That map says there's treasure there, Junior. Yeah, well, you just hold on to your hat, because we're going to get there fast. Okay. shot.
I was thinking.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
Oh, you're first.
Oh, well, shit.
I thought you were ready to say, let's pick up the pace.
Oh, well, son of a bitch. I thought it was all you.
That's what you got a good outtake.
All right. All right, we got to pick up the pace or we're never going to get there.
I know, Junior. It's all Anthony's fault.
Oh, man, that guy stinks. Man, those Armida-Man sales sure are speeding up.
Yes, they are. He's pretty amazing, isn't he?
Yeah, a lot more than that, man. Well, shit. Come on, Pops, let's pick up the pace.
Blame Anthony. Too many cake breaks.
Oh, man, I hate cake.
I love cake.
Come on, Pops. It's an emergency. We got to get there quick.
Yes, Junior. Let's pick up the pace.
Am I saying it first?
Yeah.
Hey, Junior, look out. You're going to run over that in the road.
No.
What was that?
I don't know. You know something, Pops? I'm tired of hearing from you.
What's wrong, Junior?
You're too bossy. Don't call me Junior.
Oh, I should be in a museum.
I'm tired of you calling me Junior, Pops.
Why, Junior?
Goodbye.
Ah!
I'm tired of you calling me Junior, Pops.
Why is that, Junior?
You're so old you should be in a museum.
Ah!
That's good. It works. We won't have the audio. So.
Am I doing the rhythm just for fun at the end?
Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. What do you think of all that? And I saw everybody in the chat making jokes. Yes, my son, he does actually sound a whole lot like me. But yeah, you can see we always have a good time when we shoot those shoot the clips for these shows. But yeah, we had a whole bunch of stuff planned to kind of pick on Anthony that we didn't do, and and I was going to obviously pull the pin on the sidecar, and we were going to have him do a roll and stuff, and just never got to it. But yeah, we have a good time with it. We always try to just come up with fun stuff. We don't always have a script when we go into it. We did not have a script for that one. So that was more just jump in, and my son was there to help film that. So I'm glad you picked that up as well, Ron, that he was in there helping us. That was one of the ones where he was kind of giving us direction. He had some ideas, and so we just kind of played around with things from there. But yeah, Mike dancing. What I told and Anthony, he never follows through, but I tell everybody that whenever you dress up as a costume character of any kind, you have to shoot a dance segment. Give me 60 seconds so that, we can use it somewhere down the road. I mean, right. That's kind of a staple of the memes that we put together, on the show. I like everybody doing a dance thing, but Anthony never, ever does it. He dressed as Captain Hook. He didn't do it. Tinkerbell, they don't, if I don't demand it when he's filming, we never get anything. And you're right, we can improv just fine. We don't need a script. Well, sometimes we need scripts on the bigger theme shows. We need scripts, but other times we just kind of riff off of what the other guy's doing and just see what what kind of fun things we can do to entertain ourselves while we're shooting stuff. But yeah, so that was that. And I'll kind of go through some other stuff too, because we do have a lot of funny things that we've done in the outside of that stuff too. But Indiana Jones was one of my more fun times of doing stuff, and it was outside of Dueling Dealers. Figured that was just something that Mike and I came up with on our own, and made it into something fun. So let's see. So what do I got for you?
I mentioned that I was doing those TikToks, and I kind of switched over to doing YouTube shorts for the memes. It's a lot more fun doing them on YouTube, so probably not going to do them on TikTok anymore. Just a different crowd on TikTok, but on YouTube, it's just funny because it's the same thing. It's like I'll post something, a short clip from one of the memes over there, and you don't know, some of them gotten several thousand views in a day, but it's just funny because it goes out to people who are obviously not comic art collectors, and also people who don't really get the humor. Like I'll get comments like, was that supposed to be funny? Or what the F and what the H, and Marcus says TikTok is better. It may be better. I just don't get the same vibe response over there. But when I do them over on YouTube, it's kind of neat because I actually do get it'll show you when somebody subscribes to the channel because you were doing a short, and so I kind of like that. I think so. I think I'm going to probably stay focused more on the YouTube shorts versus doing the TikToks. I mean, at least I know I'm somewhat hitting my target audience a little bit better on YouTube. Maybe not perfect, but at least it at least I know I'm getting something out of it. I can show you one thing here if I share the screen. Where was that? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's too hard for you guys to read. I'll try to shrink it a little bit. But yeah, I posted like that Hulk's Bad Day clips today, and like the first one got 1,700 views, and 1,500 views, and 2,000 views. But it's funny because obviously, most people here they don't like them as much. I'll get like the first one got 40 or 35 upvotes and 10 downvotes. So we're not hitting an audience that gets our brand of humor. 43 upvotes, 14 downvotes. 96 upvotes, 19 downvotes. So it is what it is. Unlike our usual shows over here, like when I did the Mr. Red Jack show the other day. What do we got? 504 views. How did somebody downvote that? 105 upvotes to 1 downvote. Who was the guy who had to spoil that one? The thing is, on YouTube, they don't count or show downvotes anymore. Even though the thumbs down is actually there, they won't tally the counts anymore. So it never says anything. So you think that only people are liking videos now. Well, it's not the case. There are always people downvoting. Like see our St. Patrick's Day show, 3 downvotes on that one to 173 upvotes. But yeah, you would never know it because for whatever reason, YouTube wants everybody to think that nobody is disliking a single video anymore. I mean, look at that. Yesterday's show, 5 downvotes to 167 upvotes. Just you can't please everybody. So there you have that. But anyway, so I like YouTube a little bit better just because of the metrics that I get out of it. I think that for me, it's a little bit more rewarding, I guess, than the TikTok stuff. TikTok's funny. I mean, I'm sure everybody got a laugh out of the pasties getting ripped off of Anthony when he got 7,000 views on it, and when he trended on TikTok one day. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wean myself off of that. I started it. It's kind of funny, but I think I'm getting a lot more traction doing it over here on YouTube. So there is that. Now, con wise, I don't really have, there was there was one thing I wanted to show about that. Let me see. Show wise coming up. And we've shown these many times. We got Wicked Comic Con is coming up on that Saturday, the 9th. I know that Fan Expo's got a lot of stuff going on. I think even on that weekend, they're in Philadelphia, I believe. So there's a big Fan Expo one going on in Philly while this thing's going on in Boston. And of course, my buddy Colin, the editor on CAF, is in charge of lots of stuff for Wicked Comic Con. Then, of course, our friends in New Jersey got their Comic Art Con. We know that Como, I'm going to be at MegaCon on that Friday. I still haven't finalized things with them, but I guarantee it's going to happen. Don't forget about Comic Art Live on May 21, 22. And then for everybody who wants to have a really good time, you got to go to Heroes. And you got to be there on the Thursday night, June 23rd, because we haven't decided where it's going to happen yet. I think George Hodge and Rob have been working out the details on that, but hopefully we'll know soon where we're going to have a fun art gathering going on there. So I think, I don't even know where we're at count wise, but it's got to be somewhere between 50 and 60 people who are regulars here in the chat and on CAF. It's probably going to be honestly, the number is probably going to be more like 80. I would have to believe, people that don't even know that this is going on, that will be there, that we'll all be running into. But HeroesCon is going to be where it's at, and I'm really looking forward to that. They did offer to allow me to do a panel. I came up with a couple ideas. I haven't floated them by them yet, but we'll see. I might just want to kind of take it easy, because that's going to happen. I think we've got my move schedule figured out now. We are planning on moving down to Florida. Is it the weekend before Heroes? No, it's actually 2 weekends before Heroes. So I'm pretty wiped out. So I don't even know if I want to do a panel at that point. Maybe not. I think I'd rather just hang out with everybody and relax, have a few drinks, see and hopefully buy some art. And Jason's going to be there too. Oh, and that's right. I did see Mikhail talking about Heroes t-shirts. I'm going to take him up on it. I saw that in the chat group that we have going on over at Facebook. Hart, I'm sorry you can't make it, but maybe we'll get to see you at a show sometime this year. And it's going to be a fantastic one. So cons are out of the way. Now, before we get into the CAF update, as you know, I'm never going to forget this again. I'm going to play Nick Berucci's EXP update. Now, as you know, Nick's got a show tomorrow, and it's always from 7 to 8 p.m. on the EXP. And he does a fantastic job. He's got fun giveaways. He's got, usually there's something that he's got auction wise that runs through the show. He's always got a sketch cover by Ken Hazer, who's my new favorite artist, because I've got that awesome Thor sketch cover now. In fact, I have 3. So you got to always check out Nick's show, but I've got his preview right here, and I'm going to play it for you right now.
Hey everybody, this Friday, March 25th, I am so excited about what we're bringing to the original art experience at 7 o'clock. It's always at 7 o'clock, right? Always got to repeat that for some reason. Might be because I'm a little slow. But anyway, I'm excited too, so I don't want to forget anything. This Friday, 7 p.m., I'm repeating it again, we have some beautiful artwork from creators we've never had before, and incredible prices, plus this special. I can't wait to show you this. So we will have Kieran Dwyer, Rick Remender, Avengers, going back to the Volume 3. Here's a Mr. Redjack special with Justice Society by Dale Eaglesham and Prentice Rollins. Saw him on CAF interview with Bill Cox, and I know he's going to love this. Then we have Suicide Squad by John Romita Jr., one of my favorite artists. We're going to have a few John Romita Jr. pieces, because now you're going to see Captain America from the Rick Remender run. Check it out. How did I do that? I put Rick Remender and John Romita Jr. here more than once. Then we have Hawkman by Chris Batista, another Mr. Redjack special. Then we have another John Romita Jr. with the Sentry, issue 1, page 19. That's a Jordan special. Then we have one of my favorite artists twice, Ron Garney, Uncanny X-Men 411. Then we're going to have this Wolverine Weapon X. And we're going to have Dennis Cohen, Batman, inked by Dick Giordano. And here's a few things. 1, 2 of these pages will be under $100. At least one other page will be under $200. Plus, we're going to have our Ken Hazer commission cover art. And we have so many great fans that love those, and I'm just so excited. But here is the cherry on top. Moon Knight #1 cover by John Romita Jr. The Venom cover last week sold to our friend Eric Wilkinson, and we'll see if anybody wants to take care of this week. Take it home, so to speak. I will not be hurt if you don't. I love the cover just like I love the Venom cover. But if there's another fan out there that loves it, I want to make you happy. And as usual, on the high ticket items, we will always give you time to pay. So that's this Friday, March 25th, only on the Original Art Experience, 7 p.m. And please hit that thumbs up and share. Sharing is caring. Let your friends know. Thanks a lot. See you Friday at 7.
Nick, did you just say Cohen? I just wanted to know. It's Cowan. I got it from Cowan himself. But let's see. So now we can move on to the CAF update. But again, don't forget 7 to 8 p.m. tomorrow. And one other thing about Fan Expo, I didn't realize. I never pay attention to the bigger shows, unfortunately. But they actually have a show in Cleveland at the end of April, so I might actually go to that just because. I mean, shoot, it's not 25 minutes from my house, so that's okay, Nick. As we know, Jim McLaughlin from Hero was constantly calling him Cohen as well. And fortunately, I asked and so I started calling him Cohen, and that's why it's a running joke anymore. I'm in trouble. I am definitely in trouble for that. I'll never live that one down, thanks to Jim McLaughlin. So let's get on to the CAF update, everybody, so we can look at some art and also get Mr. Chris Snork into our. I'll see. I always hear the familiar ding when he gets into the green room. So he is here. So this CAF update is going to cover the period from the 14th through the 20th of this very month of March, and it was a decent week in sales for both the dealers and auction houses. I think combined, I don't recall looking at the overall sales for both. I think it was just over 650,000 between the two. Dealers made the brunt of all the sales last week, and honestly, it was Albert Moy. I mean, he must need to put in a new dining room or kitchen at the house or something, but he sold a lot of art in the past week on that art drop that he did. 5 of the top 6 artworks were sold by Albert, and are they all by Jim? No, 4 of them are by Jim Lee, and I think 1 is by Liam Sharp. So let's go ahead and take a look at the top 6 sales from original comic art dealers last week. So like I mentioned, here's the total sales. $379,475. That's actually down a little bit from the week before. But this first piece was by Ramita Man, sold by Ramita Man by Steve Ditko. This is from Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 2. It's the pinup for the Beetle, sold for the asking price of $50,000. Next up, next 5 are all from Albert. This is the cover to Batman Catwoman issue 10, asking price $45,000. Jim Lee Scott Williams, of course. And this is the cover to issue 11 of Batman Catwoman. And this one sold for $40,000. I guess a little less detail in the faces, knocks $5,000 off, but I'm sure that's a happy buyer right there. And here's another $40,000 cover. And this one was to issue 8 from Batman Catwoman. So Jim Lee Scott Williams again. And finally, this Hex. Says the description was weird. It said Hex X Page Batman. This one's all Jim Lee, no Scott Williams. This one sold for $20,000 by Albert. And finally, Conan the Mercenary. Was this a published cover? I'm not even sure. It must have been. The asking price, sale price was $18,000. Liam Sharp, of course, was the artist on that one, as I said already. And you know what I did forget to tell you was the top sales. As I said, we had $379,000 in sales. $169,000 of that was to Albert for 16 sales. So he averaged over $10,000 per sale. And as we saw there from his top 5 sales, he clearly averaged about probably around $32,000 per sale just in his top 5. So 150,000 of his sales came from those five artworks. Pretty decent week for Albert. Then rounding out the top 5 from last week, Ramita Man with 13 sales, $63,000. Felix with 45 sales, $51,000. Anthony with 115 sales, like he always does, $48,000 total. And then Panel Page out, rounding things out, Glenn, of course, 5 sales and $17,000 for him. So good weeks for several of the dealers, especially Albert. And congrats to him. He's probably got another vacation planned, right? A Hex backpack design. Is that what it was, Mikhail? I have no idea. What am I looking at? Yeah, Big Jim Lee week. Yep, Jim's doing all right, and so is Albert. But yeah, Albert said he was going to Puerto Rico, something like that. I forget when we were talking. That was why during the next Heritage recap I'm doing, I've got Dino sitting in for Albert because Albert's on vacation. So I guess that means he might not be a player in that Heritage auction then if he's not going to be around the day following that. So we'll see about that. All right, so on to the auction results. A rather average auction result week, unlike the week before. The week before we had $1.3 million in sales. It was probably closer to 2 because of the reporting snafu I had with Heritage on their international auction. But these sales were at $275,942, and the top 3 sales from eBay and the top 3 sales from Heritage will follow this. So there you go. 275,000 was the total between eBay and Heritage. This first item was one of the Mike Mignola charity pieces. This was the Wolverine Jungle Adventure piece, and it sold for $10,400. All of that going to charity. Next up is a George Perez New Teen Titans piece. I'm not sure what this was from. It had the title Games in it. It was page 22, sold for $4,500. A single buy it now to get that one. And finally, the other Mike Mignola was the other piece from him in this one, and this one sold for $4,150. Man-Thing art. So I think that tells you he should be drawing Hellboy, Wolverine, or Batman maybe. So the 3 results from Heritage. This first one is by George Perez and John Beatty. JLA page from issue 192 sold for $5,280. Next up, strip art by Alex Raymond. This is a Rip Kirby daily from 1948, sold for $4,680. I mean, this thing's absolutely amazing. I know Ruben would diagnose all those triangles in there and tell you a lot of good things about why they laid it out like that. I'd love to own that one. Finally, this piece by Paul Gulacy. It's from Bizarre Adventures 25, sold for $4,320. And I left that overlay on there because, as odd as it seems, that was the only image that Heritage had on that piece. I don't know how they managed to put that piece in there without, taking the overlay off, and it still sold for $4,320. So I mean, I love Paul's work as well. I mean, and I'm sure it looks fabulous when you don't have the overlay on it, but it's I don't know how they kind of missed that one. That was a weird one. Could send Berkey and Glenn away that week. Well, Glenn's never on anymore, Jason. Nick's on, but let's see. So Nick said he's flying after the auction. Okay, well, yeah. Yes, see, Ruben, you taught me something when I had you on that show. So I actually look for that stuff now. I remember when we were talking, it was the handrails on the stairway and those sorts of things. But yeah, that Raymond piece is just phenomenal. I mean, I've really actually been trying to find a nice Raymond piece. Mike has a couple, but nothing that kind of meets the criteria that I want now, because now I'm looking for the movement, and I want to, if I'm going to own a piece, I want it to have. See, Marcus, how does Marcus do that? He always gets the right emojis in the chat. He's got the triangles there. Doggone it. I don't pay enough attention to see what's in there. But yes, it's something that I've been looking for ever since we talked, Ruben. And so that is, I pay attention. Now it's, I can't not see them. So that was a perfect example of something that Ruben has gone over before. Ruben would be good to do if we ever do a CAF U. If I ever get a CAF U done, if we ever do a CAF U on strip art, Ruben would be the guy that would be a good person to have on to talk a bit about that. And cool. Yes, I think we can work that out. So let's get on with the fun part of the CAF update, as we always do. Chris is taking a drink, so I'll wait till he puts his glass down. Here we go. I can see him in there. Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. I've had it's been fun. I've been really on I don't know what, an emotional high the last couple of days. I thought I had a really fun time on the show last night. I was kind of worn down initially. I think after the sale of chips, it was just a grueling couple of weeks there. Mm-hmm. But I feel great. I mean, I've like the weight has been lifted, as they say, and it's really true. I didn't think I'd ever get to experience something like this, but it's an amazing feeling to really be able to focus on just this now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm actually going to do a wrinkle here, because you saw there was so much great artwork added last week. I mean, you even said you were so happy that you got to be the one doing the picks this week. But I'm going to show off like my alt picks initially here, because I was looking through stuff and I thought, there is just way too many really great artworks in the set, and I had to skip over a ton, and I really felt bad about it too, because there was so much good stuff, and when I was going through the artwork, there was so much good art. I literally was looking at the collectors' names now, and I'm thinking, all right, I've done something by him recently, or or that artist, and so I'm skipping around trying to be like, how do I not show pieces from people's collections who I'm close and tight with, and I did initially, and then I felt bad because I had my 10 settled on. And then I still had my tabs of artwork open that I wanted to feature. So I still had that open. I thought, you know what? Even before Chris goes tonight, I'm going to show off my alts, and then you can go. So here, let me go ahead and just and we don't have to talk about them. We'll talk about them. But
Yeah.
but so this is
We're
adding
ahead
to
of
my
schedule.
This is right. We are. Isn't that weird? It's only 10:25.
Yeah.
So here we go. This is in Khalil's collection, added, of course, just recently. This is a super important piece to Khalil. And, and I know I'd featured something by Khalil recently. And so I was like, wow, it's like, I was like, all right, I'm going to hold off. I'm not going to feature it. I'm not going to do it. But I have to feature it. It's great. It's a great artwork, a great story behind it. Definitely, as you know, Khalil always writes a great description. And look at how long this one is. He's hitting those character limits on CAF. He does this. But this was an important issue to Khalil, and it's always great when you get something. I can't say that I've really hit anything on an issue where I'm like, this is the issue I want to get some art from. I don't think I've had that experience in the hobby yet, but for Khalil, this was definitely one for him, and it's just a beautiful page. I mean, Black Spider-Man is so tough to get anymore.
Right.
I do believe he got this from Mike, but what a great pickup. I mean,
I was going to pick this one too, and funnily enough, because this was also one of the reasons he wanted this, because it was the first issue of Spidey he ever bought, and it was mine too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess we're close to the same age, I think, Khalil and I. But yeah, this was the first issue of Spider-Man I ever got myself.
Well, then you were probably pretty happy to see it there as well.
Yeah,
right?
I left a big comment. Yeah, very cool though.
No, well, I was so I felt bad. That's why I was like, we got to do this, and maybe we're gonna have to do this from now on. If there's a couple extra picks that just don't make the top 10, nobody should feel bad. I feel it happens a lot. I mean, we have to overlook pieces for varying reasons. So this was mine. This was one of mine this week, and I couldn't. It would have been a very big mistake not to talk about it. So it's a great page, and congratulations to Khalil for finding something that's truly a grail for you.
And I think, honestly, in the same respect, like, I think I love Puma for the same reason too. We're probably, KG and I might be the only Puma fans on Comic Art Fans, but probably not. There's a guy named Razorback fan, so there's some weirdos out there.
Yes. Well, I hate to say it, I'm not even familiar with Puma. How do I've got to go back and read a few things. I've never been a big Spidey fan. So maybe read
Khalil's description. That'll get you like halfway there.
All right. Because I didn't read it.
There's a lot there.
All right. Well, okay. And Khalil says that you definitely are both not the only, but you're close to the only Puma fans out there. All right. So next up, this was in Aranga's CAF gallery. I mean, this was a pickup from Dueling Dealers as well when Matt Kennedy was on the amateur show. I don't know. I always love Cassidy's run on Astonishing, and this page. I mean, I don't even want to look at it as large as it is because you just miss out on, all the character work on there. But I don't know. Just love the page. Love the lettering. Love Colossus. I mean, it's just
he's my favorite X-Men.
Yeah. No, Colossus. For me has always been my favorite. I know everybody's be like Wolverine should be your favorite character, but Colossus for whatever reason he was always this kind of country boy. Who was thrust into this role of being a superhero. And I don't know, I always kind of more identified with him than anybody else. Maybe Cyclops would have been next for me, probably, even though he's the dork and nobody likes Cyclops at all. So I'm liking the characters that nobody else likes. But yeah, just a great page here. And I was super happy when I saw Aranga get this, during the show because I mean,
he saved me from making a questionable financial decision when he picked this up.
So you let him make the questionable financial decision.
Exactly right.
It is sometimes better when somebody else makes that. But yeah, I don't think Khalil's here to see that. But somebody will let Aranga know. Oh, is he? Okay, I haven't been paying close enough attention to the chat. But yeah, fantastic piece, and I'm glad Aranga got that one. And then next, Jason, it didn't make the cut. I hate to tell you that, but you know how I love Paul Smith. And but I had to show it here because I just had to. I mean, we don't get to see Paul Smith X-Men pages land in people's collections too often, but here, this again, fantastic story. Jason posted a lot about it on Facebook as well, so I know that a lot of people have probably seen the artwork already. But as everybody knows, getting a Paul Smith X-Men page is really, really difficult. and for most of us out of reach. But Jason was able to make an interesting deal happen for him, and he was able to add this amazing piece to his
Half the
collection.
battle.
Right. So while I didn't feature it in my 10, I had to feature it somehow. So again, that's what I was running into this whole time I was picking artwork this week.
I had 4 of my picks in the first like 2 days of the week. I was like, oh, this isn't gonna work. I got to get through a whole week.
I know. It was a very, very difficult week across the board, and it's funny, once I got done, I think I picked 3 Batman pieces, and which is totally out of character for me, but I did. So congrats to Jason on this one. Well-deserved piece, and you can stop collecting right now, Jason. You can die happy as a comic card collector now.
Hang it up, buddy.
Yep, you're done. There's nothing else out there for you. Leave the rest of the X-Men
question.
Sure.
Who lettered this book? Does anybody know in the chat who lettered this book?
Well, we're going to find out. It's really clean. I mean,
so the X books, I feel like, had either they had the same letterer, and I don't know, or they had the same lettering style, and everybody that did it executed it almost exactly the same way. And this page, like with so many word balloons on it, you like really pick up on it when you look at those close-ups.
Mark thinks.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That would have been my guess, but okay. Thank you, guys.
But yeah, it is. There's a clear weight to it when normally it might not be like that. I mean, it's a little heavier line. So, but you're right. But I think that's. I'm sure editorial at Marvel was very. They want to have that consistent feel to things, and it seems like this lettering style probably carried on for quite some time. I mean,
it was through the Silvestri books.
I was going to say all the
junior books, I think. Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? I mean, we can look at it down to that level, that the lettering is even that memorable and important.
Well, I think I said on the show before, I've gotten a couple of pieces direct from artists, and when they write my name and my address on the the outside envelope, I keep it. I'm like, oh yeah, Kevin Nolan lettered this. You know what I mean? Like he wrote my name and address. I'm keeping it.
That's not a bad. I think I've thrown quite a few of those out in the past. Well, all right, I won't do that again. Thank you, Chris.
Sure.
So this was in Larry's collection. I mean, and again, it's a fantastic example. I mean, I don't feature Brooks too often, and Larry picked up this piece. So Larry, you got in the list too. So and I think I had a piece of Larry's in, was it last week or the week before? So I'd skipped it over, and then I'd left it
a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Larry, come on, you should slow down, man. Because what did you share on Facebook? You showed off that JLA Avengers page recently too. So yeah, you got to. I mean, I'm sure that's one you've had in your collection for a while, but pump the brakes a little. leave some art for the rest of us, Larry. But yeah, I wanted to pick this one, because it's a color piece as well. But just. It's absolutely gorgeous. Colors are perfect. I mean, everything about this piece was to die for. Yep. And I didn't like this one yet, so here I got to fix that. So there you go, Larry. So you made that list. And I don't even know whose this was. Whose collection was this in? John B. So it's an Andy Kubert. We were talking about the X-Men.
You're still on that high on that Kubert.
I am. I am. Well, it made me. I saw it and I'm like, I know that's a Kubert page. So I had to look closely at it. But it's fantastic. I mean, everything about it is just. It's an awesome page. It made me want to. I don't even like the Kuberts on X-Men, as we all know. They're not they wouldn't be in my top 10.
Me neither.
I see this, and who was the inker on this one? Oh, Mark Pennington. Okay, but I saw this page. I'm like, man, I like it. I like it for the art. I mean, I love the top panel with the plane. Breaking the panels. I mean, I love the overlaid panel. I mean, that's not something that you see it here, and it looks really odd, but I mean, it works. I like it, and
I like that bottom shot of Havoc too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm just now looking at that one panel. I mean, it's great. I mean, so John, if it's ever for sale, I might buy it.
That X-Men, I think, debate is going to live on a very long time in the chat. I think we're going to be talking about that for months.
Oh, that was fun. Well, we had a,
Oh,
we
yeah.
talked for a while afterwards too. I think that the format is a good one. So Tatiana's agreed to do a Batman show. So she's fielding some requests. So if anybody would like to, throw their hat in the ring to be on that panel, you can hit Tatiana up. You can, through her CAF gallery or TD Art.
You got to get
gallery.
Daryl.
Right. Well, I heard Daryl's West Coast, right? So there might be a little tough scheduling wise. I saw
He'd make it happen. I think
he would get off early that day. All
I feel
right.
like
Well,
he
then,
would.
so that's out there. But yeah, no. So we're gonna do that, and we, because Kirby was not represented, it really made me feel like the first artist that we would do on one of these segments where you're picking maybe the best titles or storylines. I'm not quite sure how we would want to finesse that, but but I would make it where
Kirby topic.
Yeah, and try to get 4. It wouldn't be me. I mean, I wouldn't feel like I'd qualify to be one of the people on that, but we'd have to find somebody who'd want to moderate it, and 3 guests who are, I'd maybe get Tom Kraft. He'd be good to have on there. Maybe he'd like to moderate it. I mean, yeah, exactly. So I really want to take the concept of that Monday show and expand upon it. I think it's fun to have one topic to talk about. I don't know if we talked about that. Yeah, because I love the collector shows, but it was always 4 different topics, and this was one where it's like, okay, we're all coming together. It's a little, it's your version of the topic. Yep, it's 4 people. It keeps the timing was perfect. We were each able to kind of get our stuff done in a reasonable amount of time, and so we're gonna play around with that a bit more. But it made me look at XArt in a different way too. And I would never. Jim Lee was not in my top 5, but I ended up having to put him there when I was presented with this is the only set of artists that I can choose from, and it made me really think very differently than I had about my X books. So it was definitely a good time. And Mr. Easy Go Lucky says Tom Kraft would be great. Yep, absolutely. And so my last pick, again related to that conversation, I picked an Alan Davis.
This is a beaut.
I mean, isn't that great? I mean, and like I mentioned, I think I said I would never have picked Alan for the X books, but and mostly because I didn't read Excalibur, but I saw this and I had to pick it. It's got Rubenstein inks on this one, but great piece, and it was on my extra list for a very long time. All 6 of these pieces were on the cusp of making my top 10.
Yeah, a couple of them made mine too, and we're in the top 15, and then didn't make it. But
so there you go, Larry Ton for 2. All right, so that was my extra list. If you want to do an extra list the next time, whenever the next time is, Chris, I would be.
I talk too much already, Bill.
I don't know about that. All right, let me get your 10 on the right screen here for me, and I gotta drop a few things out. But yeah, I mean I'm really things are just the hobby keeps becoming more and more fun for me every week. I mean, I feel like
awesome.
I'm seeing things in different ways, and it's fantastic. I mean, it's been the last 6 months have just been. I thought like when the pandemic started, those were cool times, but I mean, everything just seems to be getting more and more exciting and fun, and lots of new connections, and again, just ways to view the hobby better and differently.
Same. And I've never been this active on CAF. I've never been. I mean, this is a whole new thing, for me too, which is super fun. So yeah, I agree with you.
Right. And I actually, Khalil gave me a call today, and he said the same thing about, remember how we talked about last week about seeing people write more in their descriptions. I think people are really getting into it a lot more. And,
there's a CAFU topic.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, it's a really cool, and like I told Khalil, it's all because of all of us participating in these chats. It's not like CAF got any better. We haven't changed anything there, but our mindsets are changing as collectors, I think, in the way we view the hobby, and we're taking a bit more time to probably, consider what we write about it. I'm sure. I mean, we're all taking a lot more time being considerate about what we buy, with the way the prices are. So maybe that's kind of helping shape our view of the art. Like
that's
we're looking a little bit more discerning at the art.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I'd like that sale page, but maybe I should wait for a better sale page or something. You're approaching the hobby in different ways, and it's really making us just interact with the rest of us in the hobby, whether it's on CAF or Facebook or wherever else you're doing it. I think it's great. It's great for the hobby, and it's just making this time all the more exciting for me, and I hope for everybody else as well. So let's get to your top 10. All right, so this first one is in Jim Martin's collection, and it's a Jonah Hex page. Nice big scheme.
David Michael Beck did I want to say 2 different story arcs on Hex, both of which were just tremendous. Wonderful light and shadow work on these pages, really characterful expressions. Look at Jonah's face there. I mean, come on. Yeah. And Tallulah too. I mean, highly detailed, like loads of, there's like stippling here. There's all kinds of different textures. The page tells a story. Again, you don't really need word balloons here to, basically infer what's happening, which we can all agree is a great way to, put an interior page together if you can get away with that. And, it's all pencil.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So beautiful. And a guy who, I don't remember the last time I saw something from him, from the big 2 anyway. But really memorable for me. And when he worked on Hex, it was a highlight.
No, well, this is, when I was looking at this piece earlier, like you said, the cross hatching, the detail on this, I mean, it's just, it's great. And it was funny. I mean, I was looking at the character here. I just love just the eye shifting, but at first it's like, is that it's not a stat because it's all pencil. And then, so that's like, it's nice to see the care being put into the page, to put that much detail into
really really subtle advancement from panel 1 to panel 2.
Yeah. No, but great pick on this one.
Thank you.
Let me get the like on there. And let me get this highlighted here. So, I should have said whose CAF gallery this is. I'm sorry. Tom Benham. And there we go.
So this fellow has a lot of work from this particular artist. So Thomas Giarello, or I'm guessing it's Giarello. But this was just so gnarly. Look at the zombie or dead Viking or whatever he is, his face in the front right. And again, just incredibly tight, detailed. Like everything is so fun to look at. It's kind of a wild kludgy composition, I guess, but like there's just so much to pour over that it doesn't really matter that it's kind of a hodgepodge.
No, it's beautiful. I mean, lots of detail, and another pencil piece, right?
Yeah, again, it's super incredibly tight pencils.
That's great. I'm sensing a theme here. Are we going to get 10 pencil pieces tonight, Chris?
No, I probably could have this week. This guy posted, I don't know, 5 or 6 of these pages alone.
No, very great pick. And Tom,
you can imagine that guy drawing Evil Dead, right, Bill?
I really could. And I was trying to remember who repped Beck from the first piece we showed, and NSN reminded us all that he's repped by Catskill. Okay. And it's funny because even Mickey here says, talking back about the Beck page, always loves his attention to detail. I have some issues with his anatomy. Nick mentioned that he does not get enough work or credit. He is a really talented artist, and I don't believe he has a ton of published work. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I know that I don't feel like I see a lot of his published work out there. And I'm sorry to be skipping back to pick one.
No. But that's something I'd love to talk to Jimmy Palmiotti about someday, because I mean, I'm certain that he was directly responsible for many of the, illustrators that they got to work on those books. I can thank him for introducing me to, Jordi Bernet. I wasn't aware of him until he worked on Hex. Darwin Cook had some, just insane stuff on that book. I have a 2-page spread behind me from J.H. Williams from that series. It was just a who's who of like incredibly talented guys.
Yeah, we need close-up views of your art on the walls, Chris.
Sorry, go to my CAF gallery.
Yeah, leave a few likes on Chris's CAF gallery tonight.
Hey,
but I'll have to check out Benham's CAF gallery as well. I don't think I've spent any time there. And it looks like he did do a couple of close-ups too.
Yeah.
Is that true? Oh yeah, look at that. All right.
Right.
Wow.
It's just sick. It's so good. And I mean, talk about texture. It's got texture for days.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Wow.
I don't care what this book is about.
Right.
Look at it.
See, you just want to look at the art. All right. So this is in JL's collection. And this was from, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't this one of the benefit
auctions? Yeah.
Yeah. Really nice.
I really question picking this one because I feel like I go to the Art Adams well too much. But this is really different than what we normally see from art. So I left it in. And there's a bunch of pencil on it too. Maybe I was going through something earlier this week and I didn't realize it. So yeah, it's insane. I mean, I love the subject is so cool. The composition of the piece is incredible. The stuff that he did with the colored pencil on the flowers is just brilliant. So yeah, it's Art Adams, and yeah, I pick Art Adams a lot, but this is unique. I mean, this is not something, this isn't his typical, subject certainly, or technique at all.
No, I mean, I remember when this piece was up at auction, it was, you knew it was going to do well. And that was a fun time, right? I mean, the beginning of the pandemic was not a fun time, but as art collectors, watching the posts and things that Jim was doing and the other artists that he was bringing in to do, guest pieces as well, to do the fundraising for the comic art shops. I mean, that was so exciting to watch all that going on.
Yeah.
What Mike Mignola was doing his own for the World Health Organization, or no, it was a kitchen, kitchen.
World Central Kitchen.
Yeah. Thank you.
Jose Andres.
Yep. And so it was cool. I mean, you never got, eBay never was never so relevant in 10 years up until that happened, and then it was a real
every day was like sweating over what he was going to post next, and he posted that. There was one piece from that auction that I'll kick myself until the day I die for not trying. Like I was like, I should sell my car. I should, and I just couldn't make it happen. But
no, there was a lot of great stuff too that I kept thinking I was going to pick up one of the Magnolas, but everything went so high all the time.
Yeah.
Even Mr. Peanut and whatever else he was drawing.
I know. He did some crazy ones too. I wanted Quisp really bad.
Right. And he did, remember one of the weeks he did some Pokemon characters, and I'm like, oh my God, it's perfect for my kids, right? I actually bid on I think 2 of the pieces, and I didn't even come close. So
you mentioned having the Mignola Pikachu in your collection.
No, but that's what I wanted it so badly.
Yeah.
I was so mad, because I'm like, there's no way these are going to go high. I mean, come on, how many Pokemon fans are out there that actually like Mignola at the same time? Well, apparently there were quite a few.
Sorry, it was the Zafino tribute Batman that he did.
Oh, there you have it. Alan says he tried for this one too, but had it at about 50% of what it went for.
We all did. Don't feel bad, buddy.
Well, I can tell you that I actually picked an Art Adams piece as well, so this won't be the last one we see tonight.
He's the best. He's the best.
I mean, how can you not? I mean, when there's good art out there, you got to pick it.
Yeah.
So here we have a Duncan Fegredo piece. And,
so not Mignola, but Mignola adjacent,
yes.
Certainly. And I picked this purely on that middle panel. Like, how incredible is that middle panel? I'm a big Fegredo fan. I actually did a little bit of like comics journalism a long time ago, and I interviewed him for a website when this book was coming out. Just the nicest, coolest guy. Very self-effacing, very humble. And just, clearly immensely talented. And what I really always loved about his work on particularly Wild Hunt was it was in the like Mignola milieu stylistically, but it was clearly not Mike doing it, right? So he brought his own stamp, but it wasn't like too far afield from, it was almost like when Buscema first took over FF, right? And it was like Kirby-ish, so it wasn't so jarring, but it clearly wasn't Kirby. And this kind of had that feel for me.
No, I've loved Fagredo's work for a long time too. And I was really happy when he got the opportunity to work on Hellboy because, he was like born to work on it. And I think I mentioned it before, because Mark, I think Mark still reps him, but at the time, I got to see like a stack of the Hellboy artwork come in at San Diego, the first stack, and it was like, and even Mike came by the table to look at some of it. So it was, he was a fantastic choice to work on that book. But you're right, the center panel on this one is the money shot. It's a great addition to Simon's collection. I mean, he's owned quite a few nice Hellboy pages. He has a couple nice pages in his CAF gallery by Mike, but this is a great addition to his CAF gallery as well. From Got Superpowers, as you can see, well, it's kind of, you can't really see it. I guess it's not easy to read, but from gotsuperpowers.com. That's Simon. He actually lives in Cleveland. So,
oh, wow. Oh, Bill, you got to go see his collection. It's baller.
I know I should. The last time I saw him, he was actually at Berkey's. He was bin diving ahead of me one day. Yeah. I was like, what are you doing here? Get out of here.
I like that Berkey's house is like the quick stop of comic art.
It is. It's like anybody passing through. Mike's like, oh, sure, come by and take a look at what I got. But hey, now this one. Now I would have picked this one if you hadn't picked it. So I'm glad you got to pick it. But I liked it so much. I've already liked it, so I didn't have to click on it.
There you go.
So of course, it's from Dino's collection, the Keith Pollard, Joe Sinnott masterpiece from FF 200. Oh my gosh, what an issue to get a great
Landmark
interior
book.
battle page.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, this is one of my favorite stories from FF, and I love Pollard's work. So take it away, Chris. This is an easy one to talk about, I think.
Well, for me, Pollard was on the book, well before I started reading FF. So Pollard was somebody that I found later, and funnily enough, I found Pollard because Dave Johnson, I was waiting in line at a convention to get Dave Johnson a commission from Dave. And he was talking to somebody about a dealer at the show who had Keith Pollard FF art. And he was like going off about how awesome it was and yada, yada, yada. So I was like, really? Dave Johnson is so into Keith Pollard. I'm like, okay, well, I'll dig this stuff up. So at this show, I bought a huge stack of Keith Pollard FF books. Not a huge stack, but probably, a dozen or so. Keith Pollard FF books, and just, ate them up, just absorbed the whole thing. So this is kind of I guess this is a nostalgia pick for me to some extent, because, that's when I was working in a comic store. It's when I had all the time in the world to read comics and, really learn everything about them and about the characters and about the art teams and whatever. But as far as this art is concerned, that middle panel is bananas. I love the wild shot of Doom where you don't even need to see his face. And he's just insanely emoting and blasting everybody back. I mean, that's what this bombastic art is, what these books were all about back then.
Yeah. No, I mean, I saw this page and it's like, this would be like a dream page to own for any art collectors, but, Marvel fan in particular. But I mean, from issue 200, this is just, I'm very happy for Dino for having added this to his collection. We always talk. Dino doesn't go small. He goes large, and he always ends up getting the stellar example. And this is one of them. I mean, beautiful.
It's like a sniper.
Yeah, how does he do this?
He waits, and then he takes his shot, and everyone's a killer.
Indeed. Yeah. I mean, this is, so I could look at this thing for days. This would be a, one of the cornerstones of my CAF collection if I ever got a chance to own a page like this.
No question.
Yeah. And the thing, he's not looking too good throughout this whole thing. I'm sure you noticed that, Chris.
Part of his deal is getting his ass kicked. I'm over it.
yeah, he got it kicked. I mean, look, I don't even think he's conscious the whole page.
All right.
Sorry. All right, you're gonna take your like off of it now, aren't you? Oh man. All right, so moving on to John Cassaday. And whose collection was this one in? Francesco Bazzana. And I did not like this one yet.
Yeah, so it's banner week for fans of John Cassaday. this is just a, you know, obviously a tremendous DPS. I always loved Cassidy's take on Cap's costume. You know, he was really the one doing like the coin mail, like half shirt thing. He probably did it the best. The shield ripping through those goons in that long middle panel is very cool. And then, you know, boot, punch, shield, catch the shield. I mean, it's just like, this is everything you would want from, I don't care who the artist is. This is what you want in a Captain America page, right? Except in this case, it's Johnny Cassidy who's knocking it out.
Yeah. I mean, I love the layout. I love, you know, even down in that lower left on the DPS, how the panels don't go to the edge. I mean, it's just a nice, everything about the layout, the structure of this page is beautiful, well thought out.
He was so, especially on Planetary, but even on this book, I feel like editorial gave him a good amount of leeway to be creative with his layouts and be creative with his designs. Certainly on Planetary, right? They let him do like every cover of Planetary was a different trade dress, a different cover, a different, you know, like whatever for he got to do whatever he wanted. But this book, I mean, you know, you're pointing it out, right? Like that's not a conventional DPS layout, certainly for by any stretch of the imagination. Not but I just love, you know, I love the way those bodies are flying, the way he's got everything like munched together in the left corner, you know, bottom of that top panel. Yeah, it's just amazing. Love this.
Yep, I do as well. Man, I haven't been in Francesco's gallery in a while, so I'm going to leave that one open for later. Now, Virgil Finlay. I don't think we picked anything by Virgil before.
I don't think I have, but I mean, when's the last time you saw Virgil Finlay art added to CAF?
Not too often,
right?
So that might be why I don't believe I have either.
So I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. It's got a princess on a unicorn carrying a Luger. So there's your reason to pick it right there. And then let's add on that it's Virgil Finlay. And just like, you know, take a minute and soak up these inks.
Wow.
This is madness.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. And, you know, this is, it's beautiful. See, now it makes me want to own one myself.
I get it.
Even if it had a unicorn on it.
This is one of the ones I was saying when I emailed you. Like, I mean, there was some absolute legends of the hobby added to CAF this week.
Yeah, everybody is thumbs upping that one. And that's true, Stephen. Lots of Virgil coverage in the CFA APAs. I haven't got to read one in a while myself, but yeah, very popular topic there. Yep. Doug owns a lot of great Finlay work. Yes, he does. I'm assuming Doug Ellis. Yes. Yeah, if you go to Doug's CAF gallery, you'll see a lot of work by Finlay. So, nope, great pick. I'm glad you did it. I actually did not see this when it was added to CAF, and I was going through it. So when I was like a little shocked when I saw it, because I was like, darn, how did I miss that? Because that's kind of up my alley, right? As far as, you know, sci-fi fantasy genre work, and I didn't see it. So beautiful.
I feel like this needs to be up everybody's alley. I mean, that's just tippy tip top level illustration.
And it's Mickey's art, and as Mickey says, everyone needs a Finlay. So here. All right. See, Mickey keeps he keeps knocking him down.
He probably tunes in every week to say, I wonder which of my pieces they picked this week.
It is hard to pick. It's hard to pass him up because he's got such a unique collection, and he's been rolling them out. So great pick there. And this one, I actually had picked this one. I somehow managed to miss that you picked it, and I picked it. And then when I was laying out the page on CAF to outline all of this, I was like, darn it, Chris got me on this one.
Sorry.
So I had to go back and pick a different piece of art.
So yeah, again, just another legend. I mean, Toth, what do you really say about Toth? You know, look at the way he spotted these blacks. Look at the way, you know, he draws focus to that standing character with the two pistols by putting, you know, nothing behind him, but he illustrates that prairie in the background. I mean, I don't know. Like, there's a reason that so many people learn so much from this guy, right? And it's because he was continually putting on a clinic. Everything he drew was like a master class in this is how you draw comics.
I was trying to get the link to put into the chat here as well, because I forgot to link it in the description. So if anybody wants to follow along with us while we're looking at some of the artwork, the link to the full report is now in the chat, and it will take you over to the page on CAF where I put all the detailed links to this artwork and the stuff from the market data reports as well. So
Ruben and Marcus are going back and forth all night long, and I know what they're expecting, and you know what they're expecting too.
I know what they're talking about. I know what they're talking about. Man, but again, great pick. I picked it too, and I'm glad that I caught it before we went live, because I was like kicking myself that I was like, all right, but I replaced it with a good pick.
Well, this week, Bill, you could have been like, hey, Chris, I want to talk about this Toth piece. And I would have been like, awesome, because I got like 20 other ones I can throw in there.
No, but this is great. And Toth, he's amazing. And what was the comment what did Michael say? The only known Alex Toth Golden Age cover. Frank Giacoya from 1949. So
this is Giacoya?
That's what he's got it down as. Yeah, look at that.
I'm speechless. I'm shaken to my core. I thought the guy was basically incapable of inking, but okay. Wow.
Well, yeah, I'll have to ask Michael about that.
Take back some of my some of my negative comments about Frank Giacoya. Fish, I will be a Heroes Con, yes.
Oh, there you go.
You can harass me in person there.
Chris is going to be at whatever that Thursday night event is. As soon as I know, Chris will know, because Chris isn't on Facebook, so I'm keeping him in the loop. As soon as I hear from George where we're going to be hanging out, he will be there. It's the party to end all parties for us OA collectors. Just remember that, everybody. We're not trying to make you feel left out. I'll take that's that's funny. That's a CAF update night. I should try to figure out how to at least get on my phone for about 15-20 minutes from whatever we're doing. And
we should. That would be a blast.
Yeah, that was one thing I was going to ask George about, when he's looking into what the venue is going to be. If we can't at least guarantee that they have a Wi-Fi that I can hook up onto, that'd be nice, because that would be fun to do a walkthrough with everybody. Even if we just were live for 15-20 minutes, I think that would be a lot of fun.
Show people what they're missing out on, for better.
Exactly. I'm making a note of that. I thought of that earlier today, and I didn't email George about that Wi-Fi question. Okay, good. Got that down. Because I was like, oh my gosh, it's Thursday night. I'm going to miss a CAF update. And then I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm going to do something cool.
Good idea.
All right. So let me change gears here a little bit. So get the like on that one. So last two pieces here. I would have picked this one as well in Chris K's collection.
I was really just blown away to see this on CAF.
I know. We don't see enough, a lot of Mobius artwork posted to CAF. Definitely from this period. I mean, this is 75 around.
This is it. This is it for Mobius.
Yep.
I mean, if you're going to get a page, this is a tremendous page to have. I love the, flying Citroen. I love everything about that. There's not a dog panel on this page. Again, I think this is when he was really firing on all 8. There's just really nothing to add. Absolutely gorgeous architecture, gorgeous figural work. You see where Darrow gets things from this. You see where, even somebody like Sean Gordon Murphy, or, this is so influential. It's so core to everything. He is so core to everything that has come after him. It's impossible to extricate Mobius from, everything that came after. Rich, absolutely. Blade Runner before Blade Runner, cyberpunk before cyberpunk, the word existed. Yeah, sorry, I get really fired up about Mobius. This is just amazing stuff.
I agree. I'm speechless as well, because it's just he like you said, he was a big influence. He continues to be a major influence. Not even with him gone, but such an influential creator. I mean, that splash page just sold in the Heritage International auction for it was over 100. I don't recall what the final price on that was, but those pieces are cherished by collectors, and it's nice that it's just fantastic to have it on CAF, have it in Chris's collection. I mean, I'm sure it's that's a prize piece to have, and I'm grateful that we all get to share.
I hope
it
it is. Yeah.
I think, what did I remember? Did he? Because, as I say, I knew he wrote a lot. I didn't read it all, but I was reading through it.
No, he gave a tremendous description. Like, really went into what he loves about it, what it means, where it's from, how. Great description.
Yeah, like he starts it off. This one falls into the category of never thought it was going to happen. So I mean, that's again. It's another. It's like Khalil getting the Spidey page. I mean, getting a piece that means so much to you, that you don't think you could ever have an opportunity to own. I mean, again, I haven't had that feeling yet, but it has to be a wonderful feeling. So congratulations to Chris on this one. So
my little brother and I, my younger brother has a CAF gallery, but he's kind of very sporadic when he still is able to collect art. But he and I started collecting at the same time, and we used to have these discussions about who, if money didn't matter, you had all the money in the world, like who would you add?
Mm-hmm.
And this was one for both of us. You get a Mobius. That'd be like one of the first 2 or 3 that you'd have to get.
Yeah, no, I can't argue with that. I would probably he would be up there. He would definitely be up there. All right, so we got one more artwork here by Joe Kubert from
the greatest Kubert.
Yeah, there you go. And this is a nice big scan too on this DPS. I'm gonna have to scroll back and forth a lot to look at the detail on it, but yeah, this thing is really, really cool. Got some Zipatone on it as well, but the violence of war is shown in this one.
And it's it's like, I would say, peak period, or, almost immediately after peak period. But this is when you want Joe Kubert, Sergeant Rock art from. It's obviously you love title pages. It's a title page on top of all of this, awesome stuff. So, I mean, it's just Joe Kubert, Sergeant Rock, and there's nothing not to like about it. It's got bad guys. It's got good guys. It's got, like you said, it's got zip on it. I would really, really love to have something of this caliber in my collection for sure.
Yep. Dig out easy. What do you want to live forever?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Yeah, it's great. War storytelling, and by the master of war books.
Unquestionable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beauty. Oh, man. Yep. And I've never owned anything by Joe either. So that's another artist I've got to get something from. Dang.
I have the absolute saddest, worst Joe Kubert story. So his right before he passed, he was supposed to come to Chicago to do C2E2, and I can't remember what year that was. I apologize. But I have been toting around this. Have you guys ever? I'm sure you've probably seen the hardcover collected edition of Wednesday Comics. So it's huge. It's absolutely massive. It's like actual size. So I've been toting this massive book around to all these shows and trying to get everyone who worked on Wednesday Comics to sign it. And I was at Jimmy Palmiotti's booth, and he said, "Oh, Joe's gonna be here any minute. He'll be really excited to see this, yada yada," because the book was new at that time. And long story short, I ran into Jimmy later, and he said, "Yeah, Joe's not going to be here. He's not feeling well." And then, I think 2 weeks later, he passed away. So,
oh man,
yeah.
Well, I mean, we have his art to appreciate. It's too bad you couldn't have gotten that sign, though.
Yep.
Oh, look, Scott Williams updated. See, everybody in my watch list. If you're not premium, you don't get this watch list over here. all the I always know when Mickey updates or Will.
I was going to say, you don't know when Mickey updates.
Well, I mean, I see the name once a day or so, but yeah, I'll have to check and see what Scott Williams added to his CAF gallery. I'm going to open that.
I didn't say it was funny, Fish. I said it was sad, and it was sad.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I guess Fish was looking for something uplifting tonight, and he didn't get it. Nope. All right, so on to my 10. Where are we at right now? Man, it's after 11 already. My goodness.
Sorry.
All right, I'm gonna pick up the pace.
I talk a lot.
You do. Yeah, you are not allowed to have alternative picks. It's already been decided that it's not going to happen. All right, let me get to my picks here, and I'll try to be quick, everybody. I know it's late, but these shows we're having too much fun. Let me get to mine here. I think I have some obvious choices in the set that I did. So let's see. Get the first one up here. Let me try to resize the screen a little bit. I'm sure you would have thought about this one as well.
Yep.
But you already had a piece from this collection, from Joe's collection. So another one from JL's collection. I haven't put my heart on it yet, but here we are. So Walt Simonson Thor. I mean, if look at this thing. It was I remember I read through the description. I think he said it took him 11 years to get completed. He worked with Jim Warden and got confirmation around 2011 that he was going to be able to get this piece by Simonson. And so it took him a while to think about what he wanted and how he wanted it. And maybe Simonson wasn't really ready to get, to have the time to put into it. But he said that what he wanted was the Beta Ray Bill cover, but with Thor, in that pose, which is what he got. And then just some other specific moments from Thor's past, of course, the Great Surfer cover, and just the whole layout is nice. I mean, he spread out Thor and the Surfer around Thor to kind of make it work. I mean, that's just a really nice touch there. But I mean, I remember Ron Lim had that great Thor commission. What was it, like 4 or 5 months ago? I mean, I just love it when anybody gets something great from Walt, and this thing is mind-blowing how beautiful it is.
This might be controversial, but that central image of Thor, I think, is one of the nicest Walt has done, period. It's perfect.
It is. It really is. I mean, and what did Joe say? Sorry, I'm going to actually scroll down, and it was a short description. He says, where was it? He said something about the other image. Sorry, I know he wrote something. Oh, P.S. Thor was inked with brush, and the rest is pen and ink. So I don't know, but you're right. The pose, the line work in Thor. I mean, yeah, it's stunning. I mean,
it's also like almost non-stereo. It's very neat. A lot of times Walt like goes a little crazy and whatever, and that's part of the deal, and you love it. But look how, I mean, it's very tight for Walt. Like that's like a lot of really tidy rendering, especially on like the helmet and the face. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, no, I agree. You're right. I mean, you expect more, a little bit more. I don't want to say to be blocky or whatnot, but you're right. The eyes, that's a little bit more detail than he would typically do. But yeah, I mean, it's, again, great piece. Congrats to Joe for adding it to his collection. I mean, the weight was worth it. I think what is it, 20 by 30 inches? As people have been saying, it's a huge piece. So this thing is just massive. I mean, wow. I'd love to see this thing in person. I mean, all it's missing is a Hela drawn by Walt. Then it might have been perfect, but it's close. It's pretty close to perfect.
Balder. I'd like Balder.
Balder. All right. Yeah. Okay.
I loved his Balder. That miniseries was so good.
It was. Yeah. No, I've still got the miniseries from that too. I liked it a lot myself, and I sold all my Thors, but I kept that. So all right, that deserves a like, and everybody else should get in there and like that if you haven't already. I know 55 comments on this thing already. So
well deserved.
Yes. And so I picked a piece by Mike here. Let me get my Mike here, and Don M Gallery. So I'm not even familiar with the name of the owner on this one, but so I'll have to check it out. But this is from Batman Annual 18. And the style might not be classic Mike Mignola, but
it's right there though. It's like
right. It's right on the cusp
minutes
of
away. Yeah.
Yeah. He's almost there. So I just, like I mentioned, I had that X Factor annual cover by him. It's from this kind of that same period. So I've always liked it, and I just like the Da Vinci stuff going on here. I love the the Da Vinci wing over here with the cape on the side. I just love the whole layout of this piece, and it's just beautiful. And again, it's incorporating those early the concepts that carry on through much of Mike's work today. I think looking at classical images and statuary, and it's all kind of here, but not quite the way we have learned to love it since yeah, exactly. But a nice pickup, and one that I don't even think I've ever seen this image before. So I mean, again, not being a DC guy, that's probably part of my problem. But it was nice to see it.
I had this picked, and I literally said out loud to myself, "Stop picking Nola."
All right, well, I did it for you.
Thank you.
I did it for you. I mean, you're probably going to say that on a lot of these picks tonight, because there was a lot of pieces that were just hard to pass up, too hard to pass up.
Yeah, no,
this
is another Canada, one. This is a slam dunk.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you've got it's not a 9-panel layout, but it's close. I mean, the way it's broken down. I mean, I love the fact that it ends up with the 2 panels kind of together here at the end in that way. But you get Elektra on a page in costume, which is rare. And I think in reading the description that he wrote, that this is the only page from the run where all 3, Bullseye, Daredevil, and Elektra, are all in costume in the entire run. He says we're on the same page.
Wow.
So I mean, I guess there'd be a cover or those out there, but interior page wise, I mean, I didn't go back and check myself, but it was
no. So I'll let him do that math.
Exactly. But a great it's a cool image of Elektra. I think this is still when Frank was still doing more tight pencils. What is it? Issue 169. So it's right kind of on the edge of when he kind of started loosening up and not doing as much of that and focusing more on the scripting. So great addition to Canada's collection. And I mean, what more can you say? I mean, I couldn't pass it up. We feature Miller a lot, but artwork from his Daredevil run doesn't and early stuff doesn't post on CAF too often, and Elektra pages you just don't see hardly at all.
No, really, really special. Yeah.
Yep. Nope. I'm envious. And, again, and Jansen was just born to ink Miller during this period. I mean, he complimented Frank's work so much, and man,
don't let Felix say that.
All right. I won't. I know what you're saying. But I mean, look at that. I even like the second panel. No characters in it. Just the city scene.
It's really cool. I like seeing DD beat up too. It's kind of a beat up. Yeah,
he got beat up a lot. Yeah. Well, he always gets beat up, but he got beat up a lot during the Miller's run.
Yeah.
It's all right. So I got my like on that one. This was posted by Mr. Jesko, and this is like a half of a DPS piece out there that I know he's looking for the left side of it. He'd love to find it one day. This is of course Neil Adams, and did he include it? I feel like here it is. So you got Loki on the left and Mephisto on the right. And he says that he has never seen the image on the left. But what a crazy comic book page, right? To do, I mean, we've seen where 2/3 of a page is ads, but what were they thinking when they did this?
I hope whoever sold those ads got shot.
Right. I mean, my goodness, this is blasphemy on this page here. And but what are you going to do? But I saw, Joe was really, I saw his Facebook post. I don't know. See, he wrote a little here, but on Facebook, he was gushing. He was so happy to have added this piece to his collection. It reminded me, doggone it, I got to try to get Joe on. He told me he would do an interview show with me as a collector, and we just haven't really followed up with each other on when we would do that. But I'd love to have Joe on. I mean, his insights into into the artists that he collects. Is obviously a big Buscema fan. But I've got to correct that. I've got to make a note to contact Joe this weekend, see if I can work that out. But again, great piece, for what it is. I mean, I'd love to see it with the other page as well.
And just imagine if it was full page.
Right.
Right.
It should have been.
Wow.
Doggone it. Marvel just needed to make a little more ad revenue that month, and so they
And
sold
he probably
all
would
that.
have changed the composition to like drop Mephisto and make the bridge go up that way, yeah. But well, here we are.
Yep. Neil Adams, Joe Sinnott. What a beauty.
Very cool.
Man. Congratulations to Joe on adding that to his CAF collection. So here's somebody I haven't featured before, Jason Miner, Sal Buscema Inks. I know, Batman Shadow of the Bat. Why? I loved this image of Batman at the top. Yeah, I mean, it was just it was too captivating for me.
Kind of Breyfogle-ish.
A little bit. The cape was just so
Graham
weird.
Nolan.
Graham Nolan a bit, sure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know, and I'm not a Batman guy. I mean, the ears were a little long, but I just really enjoyed that image of Batman, and I just thought, and it was kind of the rest of it. The storytelling's there, but I just love the. I was sold on the image of Batman.
Yep.
Yeah. So and again, it was an artist whose name I'm not familiar with their art. I hate to say it. If Jason Miner is ever watching this, I apologize for not being familiar with it. But again, sometimes an image gets you, right? And you're just like, I've got to feature this one.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, Jason, you had a whole night of X-Men this week. Come on, take it easy.
I didn't even see that. Yes, I told you I went a little overboard with Batman. I don't know why. It just happened. I mean, I was just looking for good
correction. You had too much Marvel in your blood.
That's true. That's probably exactly what it was. All that X-Men, but hey, that's why I showed you guys the stuff, the stuff that didn't make the cut. There was plenty of Marvel there, plenty of X-Men. Get over it.
Yeah.
when you host the next one, or when you come on here, you can do your 10 picks, Jason. Just throw your hat in the ring. You just let me know when you want to come on here. And so this is the piece I replaced yours with. Originally, this was in my, in my didn't make the cut list. So this is in Fish's collection, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or whose collection is it?
Really?
Yes, Fish Pens. Yes, Fish. There he is. I knew it.
Fish. This is a nice page.
Yes, from John Romita Jr., somebody I wouldn't normally pick, but I really, really like this page. I mean, I thought the
Tarantula with his awesome boot knife.
Exactly, and the battle is actually I love it. The fight scene's great. I mean, look at that last panel. I mean, shoot, this thing is fantastic, and it's signed by what is that, Jim Shooter too. So
Spidey in that bottom panel is awesome.
I mean, look at that. That's just
that's killer.
I mean, come on, Fish. Are you going to switch from like Ron Lim? Now you're going to go after all the good Spidey stuff too? Come on.
You know what I really love too is his hands.
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
Great hands.
This is just it's a phenomenal page.
Yeah,
every panel, it's just so well executed. I mean, look at that. He's got him in a head. I mean, this is crazy.
Tarantula and a full Nelson.
Yeah, you're not gonna get that too often on him. But yeah, all right. Congratulations, Fish.
Awesome page, Fish.
And Ruben says, I wouldn't. So he's asking me, you normally wouldn't pick this just because you're not a big Spider-Man fan? No, not at all. I mean, I picked Spider-Man art before. I didn't, and this is John Romita Jr. I would have loved this page no matter who did it. I mean, I did. So it's just, I love the composition and I love the fight scene. So it really doesn't even matter.
This doesn't scream John Romita Jr. to me.
No, and the thing is, it didn't. It could have been any two characters fighting. Completely honest, I just thought it was so. I love the battle, but the way it's laid out as the fight scene, and the bottom panel is just freaking unbelievable. I mean, that's
very cool.
Yeah. So no, I mean, it has nothing to do with Spidey or John Romita Jr. I just love the page, and I thought it was just a great battle page. I mean, who wouldn't want to own this thing? Yep. So again, congrats to Fish. Wonderful, wonderful pickup. In addition to his wonderful CAF gallery. If anybody can answer his question on insurance, I saw that on Facebook, Fish. I think we need that would be a topic for CAFU in and of itself, is properly addressing the issues that we all face today with insuring our collection. So whatever if you get any interesting side information from that question I saw you pose on Facebook, I'd love to hear about it too. I think it's something that a lot of people have questions about.
I would too.
Right?
I just have a massive rider on my homeowner's policy, and and CAF is basically my backbone for it. I'm like, here's a link to my gallery.
I know you gotta. You definitely gotta. But all right. Yeah, please. Yeah. Fish says he'll update me on whatever he comes up with. So good. Because I think that your questions were valid. I've heard the same thing about the insurance companies, because it's a one of a kind item that a lot of times they fall back on your purchase price, which just isn't really fair, especially if you bought the art 10 years ago or 20 years ago. How do they do it in the fine art market? There's got to be something out there. Maybe it's really expensive. I don't know, but it might come back to professional appraisers and that sort of thing, which could make it continuously a little bit more cost prohibitive to insure it the right way. But I'm looking forward to what you come up with. Yes, and I agree with what Larry just posted as well. So next up in Mark V's collection, a Jaime Hernandez piece.
Nice.
I know I've featured a few pieces by Jaime over the time. This is from Love and Rockets issue 3. When I had Micah on earlier, he was talking about, and I had no idea, that he was going to mention that they have some pages from issue 2 in their upcoming, their next event auction, which I guess is probably 4 months away. But again, just a really early piece from Love and Rockets. And I wouldn't say it's like the best one I've ever seen, but I love Jaime's work. And honestly, I really do like the page. I mean, I love, can't say any, I love all the panels. I mean, I love the, like you talked about Doom, don't need to see their face. I mean, the character here, it's fine. Just being in silhouette. I love these last 2 panels a great deal. I mean, again, just wonderful storytelling from a really early period in Love and Rockets. So, great addition.
Contrasts. Lovely.
Yep. Nope. I love it. Got my like on that one. Congratulations to Mark V on that pickup. And wait, he has a whole CAF gallery. Let's see how many pages or gallery room. Oh, wow. So he is I think I've actually probably featured a piece from his CAF gallery before.
He's a Jaime aficionado.
Dang. Yeah, this is okay. That's why I recognize this one. I featured this one. So when was this one added?
Yeah.
Right at the end of the year. All right.
I remember that panel for like laying on the bed.
Yeah. So there you go. It took me 3 months. Every 3 months I'm allowed to feature a piece.
Quarterly pick.
All right. Oh, look, it's a Batman page again. Boy, is Jason still here? So this is a Batman page
from high blood pressure. He was so enraged.
This is by Don Newton, whom I've never featured before, I believe, and Alfredo Alcala, who I've featured a few times in the past. But I like this one was for the storytelling. I love that central image with Batman and Robin there in the circle. But I love the storytelling and the fight going around it. Got Scarecrow on there, Penguin, different villains. I didn't read the page to even really know what he's talking about here. The Two-Face image there. The crazy version of the Batmobile in the lower right. And
yeah,
unfortunately,
like
this is
Corvette version. Yeah,
exactly. So I just, I saw this page and there's no nostalgia for me because everybody knows I'm not a DC guy, but I just really like the page. I like the storytelling. I like the way it was done. This isn't something that I would expect to see done in like I can't say in a Marvel book, but
you're right about that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Then I said it. It's the way this, whatever he's relating here, I wouldn't expect to see it in a Marvel book. It's so uniquely DC and it just felt, I was compelled to feature this artwork just for that reason.
I think you can be saved, Bill. I think you can.
Maybe. This is back to appreciating art in a way that I'm not used to, and DC is like reading a different language for me. I really never looked at it that much. So I was impressed by this page by Don Newton.
It's gorgeous. So, no question.
My first.
Yeah, and different. Newton. I mean, you're right. They have different narrative devices for sure.
There you go. Jason, maybe disappointed is a better word. How can I cancel my hammer after all this?
It's like your mom. He's not angry. He's just disappointed.
Yep, exactly. I'm sorry. I'll make up for it next week somehow. Well, here, maybe this pick will make you a little happier. It's not an X-Men page, but it is an Art Adams page.
Oh, yeah.
And from FF 349. I mean, the Mole Man, the alt team. I couldn't not feature this piece as well. I'm sure you saw it, Chris, right?
I couldn't do 2 Art Adams.
I knew it.
I'm not Larry. I don't have that kind of power.
There you go. But yeah, just a great, a great page from arguably, I mean, one of it's a story, Marvel story, FF story that's has a place in many collectors' hearts, and people who love just reading comics, don't even collect art, love Art Adams' short run on this unique storyline. And you got the Thing, Spider-Man, Hulk, and Ghost Rider in this top panel. I love I like the layout. It's broken up in some, in a way that isn't normal, but it works. And it's got the, your classic cross hatching that Art is known for, right there. I mean, and in fact,
really over the top Spidey eyes.
Yeah, exactly. They are way too big. Where's Namor or somebody to yell about those Spidey eyes? But yeah, just classic. I mean, look at the way he's drawn. Mary Jane, who's clearly hallucinating. That's Art Adams, perfect as far as the way drawing a pretty girl's face from this period. So again, I just love this page. I'd love to own a page from his run here. And
me too. Really influential for me as a kid.
Yep.
This short run.
And Art T. Bear or Al Milgram and Al Milgram inks on this one, and Mateo's collection.
I've heard some tales about how late this book was and how many people had to get involved in its production over the years.
Yes, I have heard those stories as well. But that's why Art has always notoriously been slow.
Worth the wait.
It totally is worth the wait. So congratulations to Mateo on that one. And so finally, my last piece is I mentioned Alan Kupperberg earlier when I was talking about Thor. So this is a Kupperberg, Jim Mooney. It's from Thor 324, and it's in Larry Stasho art. But just there's no Thor on this page at all. But I was really marveling at the ink work, honestly. I look at Loki here. I mean, so few lines really just to define him, but it's so it's so nicely done, and it's from a period where I actually was enjoying Thor a lot around this time period. I mean, the hell is good. I mean, everything about it. As far as if you wanted a good Thor page that didn't have Thor on it, I mean, you got Storm Giants, Hela. You've got Carnilla. You got Loki, and I forget the other guy's name with
the cat with the mustache. That's something else.
That's the one I'm trying to look around on the page, trying to remember who the heck that guy was. But look at it. I mean, it's just it's a great page, and and it's not an expensive or a super valuable page. I mean, it's Alan Kupperberg. I can't even say I've really ever featured anything by Alan before, but I just loved it. I mean, I love the composition. I love all the panels are perfect. Just everything about it. I mean, I'm so envious. I don't care. This could be, I want this piece of art in my collection. I mean,
it's cool. No doubt. It's cool.
Yeah. See, I'm stuck looking at it again. I'm so jealous. I really am.
I love it.
So, all right. Well, there you go. So that's my 10 picks. So at least I ended it with a couple Marvel pieces, Jason, so you can sleep tonight. And let's see. Colin says he thinks that's
Boar.
Father. Okay. I'm not. Well, thank you, Colin, for that. And Colin suggested earlier that I could do a CAF update as my panel at Heroes. That earlier. That's a possibility. You never know. I'll have to ask him about
Colin on the channel.
Colin doesn't. I've asked Colin a few times.
Come on.
Colin is he's not shy, but see, he'll give you his reasons why he doesn't want to. But yes, Jason's still disappointed. What else we got here? Gosh, Marcus and Ruben are still talking about
they're lobbying.
Awesome piece. Yes.
Yeah.
And I agree, right? That was an awesome hella panel. Just simple stuff in that page, but man, I mean, what a gorgeous page. I mean. See, I want to show it again. I'm just so mad. I mean, look at that. Look at this thing. And even see, Dino says it's an awesome hella, but look how simple it's drawn. But it is an awesome hella. I mean, I was so taken by this page. It's as simply done as it is. It's perfect. I mean,
you have a wheelhouse, Bill, and I like that you're in your wheelhouse right now.
Man, I mean, dang it. So yeah, what a fun night. See, I'm having so much fun.
Good. I had a
Who
blast.
would have
Thanks.
known selling that mini golf would kind of get me into a great mindset. But Chris, this is and having you on the show, that this is it's been great for all of us. I mean, everybody, they look forward to your picks. I did talk with Khalil today. I'm gonna shoot him some options coming up. So I might have you skip one of your shows here or there, but I'll let you know. I haven't figured out the calendar, but man, great picks from both of us tonight. I'd say I think we did really well.
We killed it.
We did. We definitely did. So
Thanks,
enjoy your
Phil.
weekend. And I have to tell you, next week the CAF update is on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you can't make that, then you let me know, because I haven't rescheduled or asked anybody else.
Probably can, but my schedule is not my own, so I'll have to touch base with my loving wife. But okay. I'll let you know ASAP.
Because we could try to keep that show shorter and just focus on the CAF update, because
totally
it's a Friday night. No, I'd be fine with that. If we could, because we can keep it to an hour and a half. Could you imagine?
Whoa. Without Beardo gassing on about line weights and
exactly. So well, let me know if you can't, then it might make my show a little shorter, but or maybe I'll try to see if somebody else can fill in. The Friday nights are tough, so I don't expect you to do a Friday night if you can't do it, because again, next Thursday night is the Dino and Nick show, where they're going to be,
and I'll be there
exactly. I mean, that's going to be so fun. I'm looking forward to that one too.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of your night, Chris. Let me know,
guys. Thanks, Bill.
All right. Well, what a fun show tonight. I hope everybody else had, except for Jason, who didn't have as much fun as I would have hoped he'd have after I showed his artwork earlier. But yes, calling the comic book legal defense fund is Marcus. All right. April Fool's Day. Oh my gosh, you're right. Is that true? That is that Friday, isn't it? That's right, because it's Dino. It's your birthday in a week. So yeah, April Fool's Day is that Friday when we'll be having the next CAF update. Skipping Thursday, going to Friday. I'm gonna have to work out something with Hakes, because Hakes wanted to do a recap too, but my week was already full, so I'm gonna have to figure something out. I'm not sure how I'm gonna work them into it, but listen, this was a great show. I'm glad Mike popped in earlier. We were able to talk a little bit about that. I mean, anybody who's going to be out on the who can make it to WonderCon in next weekend, at least we'll have a treat to see that Frank Miller piece, which was pretty nice. Marcus and Ruben, man, you guys got to carry it on somewhere after this show is over. But I'm glad everybody enjoyed the Indiana Jones outtake. I thought that was fun. I know I swore a few times. I guess I should have prefaced that before I showed it, but yeah, every once in a while when I get really frustrated, I do swear a few times, and so I did on that one. But Mike and I had a good time filming that, as you could tell. He loved being Papa Jones in those bits. So again, thanks for everybody for tuning in and for sticking with me. We are just over the 3-hour mark, so a long show, but well worth it. And I hope everybody enjoyed it as much as I did. So I'm going to call it a night. And I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. As you know, as I mentioned, back on the schedule, I do have that art sales show on Monday night with Rian Gonzalez and Sawe, and I am forgetting the other artist who's going to be with us from Next Comic Art. I should pull that up just to remind me. Betsy Cola. Sorry, Betsy. So that will be next Monday night at 9 p.m. Going to be a good show. Lots of fun, and come out and support them, because Jiggy said they're all very nervous because they're just not used to being on camera. So be all warm and welcoming, and I'm sure we'll sell probably a lot of the artwork that we show that night, and we'll of course be showing off work from their past published work as well, because we're going to conduct it as an interview like I've done with other Jiggy's artists in the past. So again, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for hanging out with me this long, and tune in to the EXP tomorrow at 7 and 8 so you can pick up some art from our friend Nick Berucci, because he always puts on a good show. Good night, everybody.